You can support this show at patreon.com/ASA podcasting.
The wasteland is a post-apocalyptic mess as the sole survivor wanders out about to lead the rest. Nuclear explosions sending out the gamma rays from deep within the core, frozen atomic waves. From deep within the core, frozen atomic waves.
Welcome to the 67th edition of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. It's the 7th episode of Season 7, and we are the show who compares and contrasts Fallout experiences through a lively roundtable discussion by playing through the same quest with characters who have been randomly assigned drastically different attributes. Welcome, everyone. Hi, I'm Andrew. Welcome to the show. Tonight on the roundtable, we are joined by two favorite fellas. We have Ray, as always. Hi, Ray.
Evening, Andrew.
And newcomer to the show this evening from the PC Elite. Hello, Eddie.
Hello, hello.
How's it going, Mr. Master Race?
Oh, it's going good.
Wonderful. The sounds like the PC group is stronger than ever. I hear all these great tales of Phil and Eddie and Clint and Ray and Sarah and everybody running around together having a good old time. What do you think about Fallout 76 in general, Eddie? Let's just get some of your Fallout 76 thoughts here.
It's got a few issues, but they've certainly gotten a lot better. We have a lot of fun, a lot of shenanigans running around the wasteland together. Playing as a group, especially this group, has made it a great time.
Yeah, I believe that the group aspect and the fact that all of us play together definitely has a lot of to do with why we generally in our podcast group seem to not have as many detractors as the percentage-wise, at least, as the internet in general. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, we're a more casual group. We're not taking it too serious, which helps a lot.
Yeah, we're not offended by little things here and there with the lore or whatnot. So
yeah.
Or having the game take your clothes off when you walk out of a door.
Yeah, or make you stretch like Slender Man for no damn reason if you're wearing. That's usually a power armor thing, I think, right?
Just makes it more fun, really.
Yeah, just good time. Something else to laugh
Pretty
about.
sweet. Yeah. So, Ray, did you get a chance to play any Fallout this week?
Yeah, I've played quite a bit. So, I started a new character a little while back, and it's been a lot of fun leveling her up. Getting into the Mothman cult and all that stuff that they have tucked away in little corners of all these different places that I've been into, finding little shrines and totems and all kinds of stuff. And
a couple of pictures today. What was that about? What did you find?
So I went into Lost Hole Mine, which is one of the key areas for the lore for the cultists. And after getting lost several times in that mine, I finally found the inner sanctum of the interloper. And that thing's still moving. It doesn't attack you or anything, but when you sit there and watch it, you can see its tentacles moving. And if you whack it with your ski sword, it bleeds.
Yeah, that thing definitely still wiggling.
I don't think I have any idea what you guys are talking about.
So it's this giant creature that a faction of the Mothman cult has come to worship, and it is. Is it
sacrilegious to worship a different being other than the Mothman? His Holiness, the Mothman, the Wise?
Well, so the Mothman seems almost like he's a I guess he would be like a prophet. He he foretells, things, and it's really the priestess of the Mothman cult that gets called to the Lost Hole mine where the interloper is.
Lost Hole Mine sounds like a Skyrim location to me.
It is a great place to get lost.
I'll have to go check this out. Maybe I'm just not remembering the name of the location. Do you have to go there to get the ritual mask?
No, there's several places to get those.
Okay, all right. So I was rocking that for a good long while. I enjoyed wearing the Mrs. Claus dress and the ritual mask and using the Deathclaw gauntlet. I thought that was a really fun combo. I've recently switched up my look.
I saw that.
Alex posted a video. I found the swimsuit, the old timey full body swimsuit. It's sort of like a faded red and white. Well, at one point, those used to be the colors of the swimsuit. But I'm also wearing the Civil War top hat with the fashionable glasses and Santa's beard. Or sorry, let's get technical here. Mr. Claus's beard. And I don't know. I just thought it was a really sweet look. Thought it was pretty cool look. Went running around and was doing some quests with some people. And someone new hopped on the team and came in and like turned the corner and saw me and just like burst out laughing in my face literally for 2 minutes straight. She just was cackling about how silly my character. I was like, I thought I looked pretty sweet. I thought it was kind of fashionable. She just laughing in my face blatantly. So insulting.
It is a laugh-inspiring ensemble.
Ray, how dare you?
Not, you can, you laugh at good things too.
Are you running around in the ritual duds, the cultist duds with this sort of makes you look like a mummy with the wrappers and stuff?
Yeah.
I love that. It's such a good costume.
Although I was a little bit irritated. I came across 2 dead cultists on the road in that spawn point that we were talking about, not the one in the mire, but the one in the forest.
Oh, yeah. I still haven't run by that. I need to go check that out.
And they were both wearing 2 different styles of gas masks, with the cultist horns and, the wrapping and everything, made with the, still made with the skulls and everything, but they had, they had like goggle eyes and a gas mask filter. And
cool.
It was very cool looking.
But if you killed them, of course, they didn't have that.
Of course not. You couldn't take that off of them.
Yeah.
That's so rude.
That is, Eddie was mentioning problems with the game. We're a supportive group over here, but that is one of my more sort of like, it's not a complaint, but it just sort of like makes me tilt my head and go, huh, why?
Because we've been able to do it all the time before.
You've already got it programmed in his hand. Like the data is there. The code is already on the character. Why do you switch up the code to a different item in his inventory when he's dead? I don't understand what makes that transition from the code is there. Why not just use it?
Yeah.
I don't know how video game coding and programming works at all. Of course, like there's someone who out there who knows how it does work is probably rolling their eyes and be like, dummy, that's not how it works. But that seems obvious to me.
It totally is. So that inventory is on a list and it pulls from the list. So they just don't have those on the list. So it can't show up. And they don't go to the trouble of assigning inventory to those characters.
So it has to be sort of like a stress situation though. What sort of server stress will that create if you actually have to be very specific with the items on it? Is it just really easy on the server to be able to randomly produce things at whim instead of have to track what a character is carrying for the whole 3 minutes it's running around in a cell or something? Like, is it just memory?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know it well enough to know that for sure, but it certainly is easier to program, just a random, get from this list instead of, keeping track of particular inventory.
Yeah, as you can tell by save file size in Skyrim once you get past level like 30 or 20.
Yeah.
And that's is that going to start happening in 76 now to us, Ray? Now that we can start taking individual items and decorating our homes and places, is that going to be a server stress that'll? Do you think? Because now my load screen it takes a couple minutes to load in initially in the first game, but every load screen I'm doing is very quick within the game itself, including like going through doors to an interior cell or whatever.
Yeah, I've been getting some pretty long ones,
That's not good.
especially on fast travel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's no good. You're even on PC. Do you have a solid state drive and all that?
Oh yeah. I don't think that's where it's coming from.
Yeah. So their servers are you think why would they be slowing down at all? Your characters are never high leveled. You never level up past level 30 before you get bored with a character and have to start someone new.
I think I may hang on to this new one.
Oh, nice. Tell me a little bit about her. She, right?
Yeah. So, one of the first character that I really built from the ground up for myself in Fallout 4 was a sneaky melee, and that's what this one is too. I just loved sneaking around the game and doing ninja attacks. So this one has gotten two levels of sneak and 2 levels of ninja
already. Wow.
And
what level are you?
24.
Oh, that's really quick. You have been playing a bunch.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, and Eddie's been helping me out.
Sweet.
I feel bad. Try to keep the ghouls from killing them, but it doesn't always work.
Hey, save your stim packs. Let yourself die over and over. Just keep your junk dumped consistely.
Yeah, that's
who cares, right? I mean, the load screens are only like 5-10 seconds. Well, I don't know. Now that you just mentioned that, Ray, I'm a little scared now. But always when I am with a team and the teammate is with me and we're fighting like tandem stuff together, I don't care if I die over and over because I just fast travel, or I not fast travel, but reload onto my teammate, and it's usually only 5 or 10 seconds. It's not a long load screen at all. So
yeah,
I save my stim packs usually.
Yeah, and that's what I was doing. I did adopt a new technique, which worked out great until we got into a situation where another player that wasn't on our team waded into the same bunch of ghouls. I've got that little 10 millimeter SMG that you get from the missing kid quest. And so I would just stand back and just spray everybody with, the flaming bullets. And I would hit enough of the ghouls that I would get some decent XP out of it.
I am so much not a gun person that I just thought SMG was like a model. It's submachine gun because it's that I know that incendiary effect you're talking about because I have that one too. I don't use ballistic weapons often with this character, but when I have to, like if you're fighting a scorch beast and you need to get the XP from it, those motherfuckers don't land. So your melee or unarmed attacks are kind of useless until the thing comes down. Unless you have marsupial and it swoops down, you can jump high enough to get a swipe in or whatever. But you got to bring some sort of like weapon with you. So if I just have to, I don't care about actually doing a ton of damage or whatever. I just think it looks cool when things catch fire. So I always bring that weapon with me and pop it into a scorch beast so I can at least get one bullet into it so I can get a chunk of that XP if someone actually does bring it down. You know what I mean? But I like that little gun. What is that quest? There's like a missing kid that
you get it at Wavy Willard's There's the nanny bot there that gives the quest to you.
Do you remember off the top of your head what it's called? I forget. Eddie?
Yeah, I'm
I don't
trying to think
remember.
of it too. I'm drawing a blank on it.
But someone mentioned, I believe, in the past that is a leveled weapon. So does that make sense to do it after you've reached level 50 so that when you get it, it's a level 50 gun? And is that what that means? Am I understanding that?
Yeah, if you're, I mean, if you're going for it for the gun for the purpose of, it being a gun that you carry, and use, then yeah, you'd want a more leveled gun. But I didn't really care. I just I had done the quest because I was just trying to get XP, and then once I got it, I go, oh, this will be handy, because I was trying to do it with a hunting rifle and a 44, and you just don't get enough shots off. This one, I don't have to be, I don't have to be precise at all. I just spray it into the crowd.
Yeah, exactly.
And it all went well until all of a sudden one of the people in power armor caught on fire. I'm like, oh, that's weird, because it does it. It's not supposed to, catch your teammates on fire.
Oh God!
And then all of a sudden, the little window at the bottom pops up that you've engaged in
Whoa!
in combat with this character.
Do you have?
And the funny thing is, the character's name was Hindsight 2020.
Nice. Do you have your safety stuff set up so that you don't engage in PvP immediately?
Yeah.
Okay. Tell me a little bit.
And she was totally cool about it.
Oh, nice.
So that was good.
Well,
Yeah.
It was chaos. It's to be expected.
Yeah, it was total chaos.
You were mentioning your weapons, your 44 and your rifle. Tell me a little bit about how you guys go about improving your weapons. I'm still sort of mastering the art of that in this game. Like, do you go to your vendors looking for specific mods? Are there locations in the game where you go where mods spawn? Or do you collect the weapon always and scrap those hoping for mods? Like, how do you guys go about improving your weapons? Start with you, Eddie.
I've been scrapping, just picking up all the weapons you can and scrapping them is what I've been doing.
So absolutely every kind of weapon, not just the ones you're concentrating on.
Well, no, I concentrate mostly on I concentrate on the baseball bats and the hunting rifles. And
where are your baseball bats spawning? Where are you finding those?
Oh, the two right when you come into Flatwoods, they're on either side of the road. The first house on either side, each one of them has a baseball bat.
And are those spawned at different levels? Do they ever spawn with probably not like a legendary effect or anything?
No, they're all like, I think one's a level 1 and one's a level 5. So they're not worth anything, but you break, when you break them down, you still get a mod off them every once in a while.
So a level 1 weapon can have a mod that could be applicable and useful to a level 50 weapon of the same variety?
Oh yeah, I scrapped a baseball bat the other night and got the All-Star mod off from it, which makes it an aluminum bat. So,
ooh,
yeah.
What does aluminum do? I assume it increases probably swing speed and maybe even damage.
It does. It increases the damage. Yeah.
Nice. That's great. Swing speed is such a great buff to any of my melee weapons, or actually unarmed, that I'm using. I love any of the legendary weapons that increase the swing speed.
Oh yeah.
Just yeah, go ahead.
There's a couple places I go to check out for power armor mods, like on top of the emergency building in Watoga and stuff. You can find a mod up there usually every time randomly. So.
Oh yeah, tell me about. Okay, so in Watoga, you said, what'd you say? Up on top of the building? Do you have to have a jetpack to get there or something?
No, emergency services building. You can walk all the way to the top of.
Okay.
Go out on the roof. There's usually some power armor there and a mod sitting over on a barrel. Usually maybe a headlamp, but sometimes it's the hydraulic bracers for the legs that increase carry weight and stuff. So always worth checking out there.
I think there's a couple of mods right below the top of the world. that ski resort where all the super mutants or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a couple picnic tables out there. I don't
Most
know.
of the time, it always seems to be an ivory grip for that single shot revolver.
That's a sweet revolver. I need to do a pistols build so I can do get some like cowboy gear going on, use the pearl handles and everything. That'd be nice.
Would be good times.
Yes. So we're going to go into some roundtable quests this evening. We'll do Defiance Has Fallen and Recruitment Blues, but there's been sort of a hitch to the plan. I used the Nukipedia wiki forming the schedule this season. Hadn't really gone through the game yet. Didn't really know how things were going to flow, and there's a little bit of a weird kink here. Do you guys know what I'm talking about with the quest order?
Oh yeah.
What the hell is happening? The wiki lists whatever the basic training one is. Back to basic, I think it's called, maybe.
Yeah. Yep.
List says it's taking place after Recruitment Blues, but that's just because you have to start Recruitment Blues in order to get the message that you actually need to do Back to Basic before you can do Recruitment Blues. What the F? All right, so we're going to do Defiance Has Fallen and Recruitment Blues tonight, but you needed to do Back to Basic in order to complete Recruitment Blues, but Back to Basic is on the schedule for next session, so we will get to it, just not tonight. That's up at the Camp McClintock stuff. So Defiance Has Fallen and Recruitment Blues. But before we get deep into these quests, Eddie, I would like to know a little bit about your Fallout history, your background with the series, the games, how many of you've played, do you have a favorite, what sort of hours you spend on each, what sort of character build is your normal sort of thing, and all that.
Oh man. Well, I started a long time ago with Bethesda games. I started playing Elder Scrolls Oblivion, and then moved on, of course, to Skyrim. And I remember talking with a guy at work. I'm like, man, they got another series out called Fallout I really want to check out. And I really never got around to it. And when they came out with the trailer for Fallout 4, I just happened to watch it one day, and I'm like, holy cow, I can walk around with a German Shepherd, and as someone that owns one, I'm like, I got to go buy that game. So I ordered that, and I ordered the anthology collection that comes in the mini nuke. And as luck would have it, I injured myself and was off work for a month right about the same time that showed up. So I loaded up Fallout 3 and tried to play that, but I didn't have my computer set up right, and it kept crashing out as it does.
I don't know.
So I threw in New Vegas, and I struggled my way through it, mostly because I didn't realize until Pat did his Let's Play that you could fix your weapons with another one. So I was constantly playing with broken weapons in that game.
Yeah, that is a mechanic that they left very, very subtle in that game.
I never knew it was there.
Man, they only ever teach you to shoot a gun, and then they're like, good luck.
Yeah, I did finally notice on like my third playthrough of it that it does pop up and tell you that. But
Yeah, when you highlight a weapon, it says,
yeah,
what does it say? Scrap to improve? No, I
yeah,
forget what it says.
button to
It
push
says
to repair or something. Yeah.
Push to repair. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So, and then Fallout 4 came out, and I bet you, well, on my PC, I know I've got well over 600 hours into that. And I hard telling I've got it for Xbox too. I've put a lot of hours into it there.
Xbox. Really? I didn't know you were on it.
Well, I got a PS4 too. I got them. I
Right.
play them all. I'm not.
Yes, that's what I like to hear.
I'm not all master race. I got to see how the other 80% live every once in a while.
Nice. That's what we like to hear, Eddie. Good job. A little bit of coucher in you.
Oh yeah, gotta have some couch time.
It's couch time. That's good. Do you have a favorite Fallout game?
I really do like Fallout 4. That was a good game.
That's amazing. I really like it. I know it got some flack, not nearly as much as 76 has gotten.
Yeah. Well, when we got to the twist in the middle there, when you finally find your son, I pretty much threw my controller, threw the keyboard back in, and I'm like, I'm done for a while.
I'm mad at you. Yeah, I found most of my characters just totally ignored the main quest in that game. There was so much other stuff to do, especially when they added the two big extra content DLCs.
After my first playthrough, it took me a long time to do the main quest line again.
Yeah. And I'd only do it if quests were assigned for like Roundtable and stuff, or if there were like specific weapons or items or anything you wanted to get that you had to do specific quests to get, or you know what I mean? Like,
Yep. Yeah.
like, oh, I want to get that deliverer gun or whatever. Because I'm gonna do a James Bond build and wear tuxedos and sunglasses or whatever.
I always preferred the covert sweater vest.
Oh, very nice. You put ballistic weave in those? Oh,
Yeah, you gotta have it all ballistic weaved up. Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
miss ballistic weave and clothes. I know there's ballistic fiber in 76. It just feels a little different.
Yeah. Oh, I
It
don't know.
doesn't feel as powerful for some reason.
At least you can wear regular armor underneath it and not see it. I mean,
Oh, that is so great. And that is one of the things that they really nailed out of the park, is that you can have all sorts of crazy armor on, and then as soon as you put a sweater on, the sweater somehow magically shrinks down to your body size and your armor gets, paper thin all of a sudden.
video game magic.
It's amazing. So your normal character build?
Normal character build is mostly rifles and not really sneaky. I just go in guns blazing usually.
Yeah, me too. So let me guess. That would mean that your option, you would not be a big hunting or sniper rifle. You're probably more of the combat / assault rifle person.
I do love the combat rifle.
I love a combat rifle. I don't know why I don't like the assault rifle as much. I have used it in Fallout 4 with certain characters. But the combat rifle, specifically the radium rifle, specifically the kiloton rifle, is my favorite weapon in Fallout.
That is a great gun. Yeah, but it seems in 76 I've gone more melee and really enjoyed it in this one. So
me too.
There's some good melee weapons in this game.
I just have such a fun time with the melee in 76. I don't know why. For about the first 30 levels of this character, I was concentrating on shotguns and rifles, but then I kept getting so frustrated with the access to ammunition. Even though I had Scrounger on, I just was not getting enough ammunition to fight stuff. I kept having to fall back on melee, so I decided, well, I'm going to just stop using my weapons altogether and for a while and bank those so I can save them up. And then instead of saving them up, what I've really done is I've just stopped using them. Yeah. And my melee has become my predominant battle method.
Yeah, then you got to have that heart to heart with yourself and decide you need to sell it so you can get more stash room.
Yeah, well, at least they gave us 200 more a couple weeks ago.
I filled that up in 2 days.
I was going to say, have you filled that up yet?
Yeah, it's full of flux.
Nice. Flux. Nice. So you're good at that process. Tell me a little about your process there. Where do you farm? What do you farm? What's your flux of choice? What do you use it for?
A lot of farming of White Springs, of course, to get the stable components to make it. But then, of course, you got to nuke the fissure site to really bank on the violet flux, which is in a lot of stuff. I mean, to make a jetpack or whatever, it's usually violet flux is in almost everything. Good.
You a jetpack guy?
I do. I have a jetpack. Yep.
Nice. I actually have a confession to make, Ray. I was really in the zone last weekend and playing a lot because, I was super excited to be back from recording all month long. So I haven't gotten a huge play session in a long time. So I just like sat and with like horse blinders on and just was nailing the quest and playing the character, and I accidentally went way too far on the schedule. I played the next 2 quests after these as well. Whoops.
Well, I almost did it too. It's pretty easy to do, and we didn't realize the one was in the middle.
I didn't realize the one quest had stopped and the other one had started, and was just like kept hammering through and gone through. So I have on this character, that means I've already gotten the ultrasight power armor.
Yep.
And I'm not really a power armor person, but I do think that it's kind of purple. It's kind of cool. I do have the excavator. I was really, really envious of that one. I thought it looked really nice. So I decided to go through that quest and have the ability to go ahead and build that excavator power armor. But now that I have this ultrasight power armor, I assume since it's a Brotherhood of Steel and they're all technological and stuff, that this is one of the sets that does accept the jetpack, right? Because the excavator does not.
I think it does. I haven't built the ultrasight set yet. I just got the plans for it too. So
Nice.
I-
They give you a set, don't they? I got my set for free. I didn't have to build
Oh,
any.
maybe there is. I haven't. Maybe I better check my inventory.
Check your inventory. They may have given you a chassis that you haven't noticed.
Yeah, most of the time I'm running around T60. So
Yeah. I don't. I'm not a huge power armor user, but I think it would be fun to just go through the process. I always talk about I have to go through the. People are like, hey, I'll give you this. Yeah, I'll give you that flux. And it's like, no, I want to go ahead and farm the flux myself so I can know how to do it. You have to go to White Spring. You have to kill all the ghouls. You have to get the hardened mass. You have to get the glowing mass. You have to get the high radiation fluid. Those are the three things. You have to be careful not to scrap your junk because your hardened mass will disappear on you.
Yep.
And you have to be careful not to die because your hard mass will disappear in a brown paper bag. You gotta be careful about that sort of thing. Just don't pick anything up until after you kill everything, and then run around and grab everything is what I found works best for me.
Yeah, most of the time their inventories won't load anyways right away. So
yeah, they spin for fucking 15 minutes.
So much going on. Them servers get mind boggled.
Yeah, speaking of server. But yeah, I talk about going through the process of learning how to do this. So I want to do that with the jetpack. I think I need to do it. So if the ultrasight power armor takes it, I assume it does. I'll have to figure out how to do that. And speaking of going through the process, I was collecting all the flux and doing all the thing, collecting all the ballistic fiber, got all the stuff together to get the Enclave under armor at the top level, so that I would get +3 strength for my unarmed character, which is really nice. That add a good deal of damage.
Yeah.
I think 30 points almost. I think it's 10 points per level of strength.
Oh wow.
I can't remember. Something like that. Could be 5. I could be wrong about that. And perception of 2 actually. But so I had that nice Under Armour, and I looked in my inventory last night, and it's just gone. What did I do? I hope I didn't sell it or drop it, or like I need to go check my stash. Maybe I dumped it in my stash. I highly doubt. I can almost guarantee I fucking scrapped it. You know how long it took me to collect all that stuff? How much ultrasight it took? How much freaking ballistic fiber? Oh, that took forever to collect all that junk.
Yeah, it is easy to do.
Yeah.
That should be one of the things that they add that I should start harping about, is adding a lock feature, because this is the 3rd or 4th time that I've scrapped something that I did not mean to. And since it is a live server, you can't go back to a quick save. You can't revert a little bit to be like, because on Fallout 4, be like, oh crap, I scrapped. Okay, let me go back. Okay, I still have it. You can't do that in this game. You can't scroll back. You can't redo. So they have to be able to give you the ability to lock items that you don't want to accidentally scrap. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've sold a couple of weapons that I really loved by mistake too.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should be able to tag them.
That hurts to buy them back too. They mark that price up.
Yeah.
That's a hard sale right there. Oof.
So we do have an update on that quest that you get from the nanny bot. Freighters Spawn weighed in and said that it's a cold case.
Oh yeah, yep. I think I did that with my beta character.
I do enjoy that gun. It is fun to sort of, as Ray was saying, to sort of sit back and spray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's the Fallout 76 spray and pray.
But I do not see a lot of the 10mm submachine gun. Do you guys know of a certain enemy that uses that, where you can go to get a bunch of those to scrap those down to try to improve that weapon to get mods and stuff?
Well, would that really do anything? Because they could be shooting you with a 10mm submachine gun and drop a pipe pistol.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. But one thing, you're right. It is inconsistent with what specific item they're holding to what will drop in their inventory. But I do find on average in general that Scorched will have the combat shotguns at the level I'm at least, that I'm looking for. I'm farming combat shotgun mods and What else? Combat rifle, combat shotgun, and combat rifle are the two I'm really working on. And I find that generally the Scorched have shotguns a lot. I find generally the super mutants are using the pipe stuff. I mean, it's not always in their inventory, but if I'm like, oh, let's go find some shotgun mods today, I'll go wherever I can find, a good Scorched spawn.
Yeah.
Or I'll combine the trip and go to the high school, because there's lots of Scorched over there at the Morgantown High School, and get your plastic run and your shotgun combat mods.
It's always a good day when you walk in that school and see a couple pumpkins sitting there.
Yeah. And Jess told me about, you go up the hill to the little side road, the dirt road up on top of the hill. There's like a parallel road that runs with, and there's a house along that road. If you run like a quarter mile up the road on the left hand side, that's like the cat house or something.
Oh yeah, full of cat bowls.
Yeah.
Yep.
Lots of plastic bowls in there too. So combine that with your high school run for your plastic run. Make sure you hit that house too. I'm sure someone can, if you can't find it by my horribly vague description, I'm sure someone in our group can point you to it specifically. Right on. Well, thank you for your introduction there, Eddie. Let's go ahead and remind people of our characters a little bit here, and then we'll get into some quests for the evening. Ray, you were telling us a little bit about your other characters. Why don't you remind us of your Roundtable character you're playing?
So my Roundtable character is Mo Cronin's great-great-grandfather, Ty Cobb Cronin. And he's melee as well, but he's strictly baseball bats. And he's, sporting a nice baseball outfit. And he was looking particularly stylish with his patrolman's glasses, but I managed to scrap those.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah. So right now he's definitely taken a lot of levels in strength, and a fair amount in agility, some intelligence, and some luck. But most of his perks have been falling in strength and agility, which kind of lines up with the other character I'm playing, except that he hasn't taken any sneak or ninja. He's kind of like a ranger archer in Skyrim, where he doesn't sneak around. He just comes running in, baseball swinging. So
nice.
And he has a generous inventory of baseball grenades in his pouch too. So that's a really good combination that I never even thought of. Do you take the explosives perk? Did you do that too? I haven't. No, it's just kind of a supplemental thing, mostly just to distract the enemy. Yeah, I think that works really well, though. I think it'd be really fun if it was a timed thing. You could loft the ball up and hit it with the bat, and then have it that'd be sweet, explode on a little swing animation or something. Who am I kidding? That would explode as soon as you hit it with the bat, probably. That'd be tough to time. That's really cool. And Eddie, why don't you remind us a little bit about your Roundtable character?
Sure. My character is Sammy Hopewell. She entered the vault with her mom when she was only 5 years old. She never knew her dad. Her mom died from a mole rat bite, though, so she's not around anymore either. She's a
vaccination save lives, everybody.
Yeah, that's right. She's assigned with the Free State. She thinks that's probably where her dad is, so she's been spending a lot of time over in the mire searching around for him. The build was really mostly high on strength. The rest was pretty even, and she was assigned heavy gunner, so I took up Gatling laser.
Oh my God, really?
Oh yeah, I would have never played with heavy weapons. I steered clear of them through all of them. But you get the right perks, it's not too bad.
I hardly have ever used them at all. I've heard that energy weapons in 76 aren't nearly as powerful as they were in Fallout 4. I don't know. Do you find that to be true?
It is, but they're supposed to be looking into that. And in fact, I think what I read today, the next update, they're going to do some balancing on them.
Some beefing up of the energy weapons.
Yeah. Yeah. And she was also assigned portable power, which is a power armor perk, makes your power armor weigh like 80% less. So she's a power armor character. Most of the time, but unless I'm hunting a scorch beast, I don't use the heavy weapons. I use the all rice that you get from Mayor for a day. A big heavy super sledge. That thing will level a lot of enemies.
Can you improve that, mod it up?
I've tried, and it drops the damage down on it, so I haven't.
What?
I haven't found any. I don't personally have any mods on me that'll improve it. So I think right now with the right perks on it, all the slugger perks and everything that I have on it, I think it's over 400 damage per swing.
Holy fuck.
It will
That's
level
great.
enemies.
Is there a one-handed dagger, knife, short sword in this game that uses the same physical appearance as Krim's tooth from Fallout 4?
There's a cultist dagger, yeah.
Cultist dagger, is that what it's called?
Yeah, it's the closest thing. It's not the same.
No.
No, it's not. Oh, I thought it looked. I was like, I think I just saw it quickly in passing and was like, oh, the Krim's tooth.
Yeah, it looks more like an ebony dagger.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means. Can you explain that?
Sorry, wrong show. I just picked up one of those today, which was nice.
Does it have any like increased swing speed, or does it have anything to it?
Well, it's fast. It's significantly more powerful than the combat knife or the Bowie knife. And I think the level 15 one I have is, I think it's does 36 damage. But with the fast swing speed, yeah, you can get 3 stabs in where you would only be able to get 1 in with a medium.
So you mentioned the level. Is that also one of those items that you can hold off to level 50 to get a level, like a higher level spawn of it when you complete this stuff?
Yeah, because I picked one up. It's a level 25 at another location that I found. So you can definitely, and it does. I don't remember what that one is, but it is definitely higher.
Nice. I have that card that does the unarmed is really what I'm concentrating on. But a lot of the other cards that I have, they also benefit the melee. But I don't have the specific, like, one-handed or two-handed. See, I don't like that they separated those, because perk card wise, now it makes it you have to invest a lot more if you want one-handed or two-handed. You have to invest like 9 more points in your perk cards or something like that if you want both of them, right?
Yeah.
So that makes you choose. Ray, looks like you've gone one-handed. Eddie, with a super sledge, do you have any of those cards?
Yeah, that's all under the slugger, same as the baseball
Oh,
bat.
slug. Okay, so slugger.
Yeah, so slugger is what I use with
super sledges. Okay.
Yeah, so it's all the two-handed weapons.
What are those?
Fire axe, baseball bat.
Ooh, I love the fire axe and the
sledgehammer.
Sledgehammers. I haven't really used the sledgehammer super sledge, but the fire axe, I really love the fire axe, especially when you add the teeth to it.
Right.
That's a really nice melee weapon. I like that a lot.
Yeah, but I had a similar situation to Eddie where I my chain wrap baseball bat, I got a rocket mod, and so
Ooh.
I went to add the rocket mod to it, and it took it down almost 20 points.
Okay, so
So I didn't install it.
the chain did more damage, but
So you can only add rockets to
The rockets-
sharp and bladed bats.
I think I have a heated one too. That's got.
Yeah, and then rocket heated.
that's weird. Why would they do that?
I don't know. It's kind of wild because the chain wrap bat's pretty nice.
Yeah, maybe it'd be too OP. Would they care about that?
I don't know. It's certainly not going to be more than the All Rise.
Super Sledge or
That
something.
thing
Yeah.
is insane.
Let me go check that out.
I think it weighs 90% less, and it adds 1 point. I don't remember what it adds. A point to something. Maybe luck. I don't remember.
That'd be strength, right?
You'd think so, but I don't remember it being strength. Yeah, it would only make sense.
Come on,
Hey,
Bethesda.
at least it weighs 90% less, so you're not carrying around a
Yeah.
heavy sledge.
That's true. How much does it weigh, natural? Is it like one of those 20-pound stupid weapons?
I'm not even sure. It's the only super sledge I've carried, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, and it weighs less, even though they've encased the metal sledge head with concrete.
That's of course. It's just like how you have the Deathclaw Gauntlet and the Mole Miner Gauntlet. Craig was pointing out that the Mole Miner Gauntlet's like made out of no. He was talking about the Power Fist versus the Mole Miner Gauntlet. The Power Fist is like created with concrete and steel. It's got like rebar in the Power Fist. And he's comparing it to the Deathclaw Gauntlet, which is made out of just bone. You would think that it would be a lot lighter, but the Power Fist is evidently a lot lighter than the Deathclaw Gauntlet. I've never actually cared that much. I didn't really notice. I like it so much. It's really the only weapon I carry usually. Sometimes I'll bring that machine gun along if I know I'm gonna be in an area where Scorch Beasts are around, so I can shoot those guys down. But mainly, I don't even carry a gun. I just have my Deathclaw Gauntlet. With that weight between, you would think that the Deathclaw Gauntlet would be lighter.
Yeah,
But,
you wouldn't have thought that bobby pins weighed 1/10 of a pound when this game came out either.
Yeah, man, those things are so heavy. I love that they made them out of lead or whatever.
Yeah. Well, luckily, they lightened them up some.
They lightened them up and then like it reverted back and then they got it back again.
Yeah.
It messed up a little bit.
Yeah, I hope somebody got a counseling notice for that one because that was just a screw up.
Yeah, big time.
Oh, it's been a fun trip though with those guys. They're doing a good job over there.
Oh yeah.
All
they're
right,
trying.
so
They're making
the update
it
on the update on the All Rise is from Hans that it's 90% weighs 90% less and has plus 10 health.
Plus 10 health. That's it. There we go.
10 health.
Who knows how much that matters? I don't know how much health you have, anyways.
Well, we'll see what continued new damage they'll be doing to us next week when Alex reports to us with his new update of the Iguana Bits update. So we'll get to that here later in the show. But first, we've got some Roundtable quests to get through. I'll tell you a little bit about Miss Marie. He is a former sort of deadbeat or got some sort of part-time job, whatever, was doing substitute teaching, happened to be substitute teaching on the day when the Vault Tech people came to get the person who was Miss Marie. And this guy just happened to be substitute teaching and got sucked in. They wouldn't take no for an answer. He's boom in the vault. Comes out, desolation, world gone, gets his stuff together. Here we go, hit the world. Lots of strength, and my melee character. It's probably, I think, 11 or 12. I think 11. But most of most everyone's roles this season we're sort of kind of down the middle of the road. There wasn't a ton of variance in the roles, and I've actually been talking with Steve on the side here a little bit, and the character generator. We're thinking about trying to make a few alterations to the formula to see if we can't guarantee a lot more variation in that. Maybe even as far as being so bold as to guarantee 115 and 1-1 in each of the and have everything else be random in between. I don't know if we'll be able to figure out how to do that, but Ray, is that too bold to guarantee a 15 and a 1? Should we not?
Nope. No, I'll talk to him. There's a way we can do it where we can, guarantee the results.
Do you think that's too bold to make someone forced to have a 1 like that? Remember in Skyrim when he'd make people have 0?
Yeah, no, I think it creates the differences that we're looking for in the characters.
That's true.
And when I do a Fallout 4 build, I always make sure I have at least 1, sometimes 2 or 3, that are at a 1.
I thought you were going to say 10.
Well, yeah, I mean, you end up usually I usually only do 9s because most of the perks at level 10 are kind of lame.
Yeah.
But the good ones are at 9.
Blitz is at 9, right?
Yep.
What else is at 9? Tell me the 9 row, right? You got the 9 row memorized?
No. Rooted is one of them. I know that's one I use quite a bit because that's great in melee. I think solar powered is one of them.
I was going to say Sunkiss, but it's solar powered, isn't it?
Yeah. So, but yeah, rooted and Blitz are the 2 that I use the most.
Yeah. So I've got, kind of down the middle of the road stats with this character mainly. And like I mentioned, Steve and I are trying to maybe look into altering the formula just a little bit for next season. And that brings up another thing, Ray. We're already starting to mention next season.
Yeah, we're getting close.
So, I mean, it's not like around the corner, but, a month or 2 away here. But we got to have some sort of direction, ideas. What do we want to do? There's the distillery content coming out, but there's some sort of like Wild Wasteland. Is there some sort of actual more story DLC content coming out?
It's so hard to tell. They're extremely vague. They're leaving their options.
So fucking vague all the time with these things.
Yeah, I'm pretty well convinced that they won't announce anything until they've actually got it, in the wild working. Because they would much rather under promise and over deliver.
At this point, right?
Yeah. But potentially there could be a bunch of new content available when we wrap up in mid-May.
But here is the other thing. Like, we might not even need new DLC because there's a ton of stuff that we need to do. Like, there's a bunch of different events that we have ignored. We haven't even talked about events, really. There are all the different cool side quests that have to do with, like, the Mothman Museum, the Mistress of Mystery, exactly. The amusement park and the amusement park down south and the carnival up north. On all this stuff. There's all sorts of great side quests and stories that we can explore that way too. One of our most successful seasons of the Fallout 4 Roundtable was the best quests seasons. I enjoyed that one a lot. Also, the bobblehead season was really fun too for some reason.
Yeah, bobblehead was great. Because there was just so much stuff, around getting each one of them.
Is there anything like that we can do? It doesn't seem like the same in this game since things come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's definitely different, but there's plenty of stuff we'll come up with some great.
Yeah. Well, that's just the whole thing. We're starting to get to that point where we're gonna start tossing around ideas. So that'll be fun. Anybody out there in the community have ideas? I'm assuming we'll stick to 76 for a while, maybe even a couple more seasons before we revert back to 4 or even 3. We were tossing around that idea for a while to do a Fallout 3 roundtable, but then Fallout 76 got announced, right? Isn't that what happened?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So, and we jumped into this without even having really played the game. So, going blind has been fine so far, except for this week until this happened when oh gosh.
And the sad thing is that I didn't even notice. I hadn't read ahead.
Yeah.
And so I had already done that quest a long time ago.
Oh, nice. No, that's totally fine, and you should have, because it is something that you can access relatively early on in the game, and it lets you get some pretty good skills, I guess. And there's lots of ballistic fiber on that location. It's kind of annoying to go through the process. Do you like that sort of thing? That's not my sort of game. I don't mean to disparage the game at all, but that sort of stuff, like target shooting, and I'm not good at that sort of thing. So I was sort of frustrated with the thing. And they told me someone tested it out. That wasn't you, Eddie? Maybe it was Clint.
I think it was Clint. Yeah.
Clint told me that he tested it out and they patched the melee. So it evidently used to be, I think back in the beta, that if you didn't want to go through the whole shooting the targets thing, you could run up to them with your melee weapon and just smash each target, and that would work. But evidently, Clint tested that out, and it does not work anymore. So that's too bad. But I eventually got it.
It shouldn't work. That's just wrong.
I know, but come on. I stink at shooting stuff.
If you were mouse and keyboard, it'd be a lot easier.
Yeah. Point and click.
Point and click.
Yeah.
So there's nothing that says you can't use a shotgun.
This is true.
What about grenades? A mini nuke. How many would that take out at once?
Yeah, have to try it and see. That's something I've never picked up and fired in this game.
No, I haven't yet either. Because the mini the fucking launcher weighs 8,000 pounds, and each mini nuke weighs twice that. It's ridiculous. They make it so they don't want you carrying it around almost. You know what I mean? They want to punish you for trying to carry that around, I guess, for PvP purposes.
I get mad at myself every time I pick up missiles when I'm scrounging through bodies.
Yeah. Got to drop those as fast as you can.
Yeah.
Well, that's, when you're wading through all, 50 ghouls bodies, it's so easy to do.
So many meat piles.
And you're going to be over encumbered, so you don't even think about it until you're starting to lighten up. You're like, why can't I get underweight?
Yeah, you don't think your ammo is going to be the thing weighing you down, and then oh crap, I have 8 missiles and 4 mini nukes,
and a couple cannonballs too.
Yeah, where the hell did those come from?
There's more cannonballs. I've had more cannonballs in this game than I did playing with the broadsider in 4.
Yeah. I don't want to, but I want to do a crossbow character, I think.
I've seen plenty of bolts. I haven't picked up a crossbow yet.
I found one. You'd think there'd be one over at that archery range.
There's one at the scout camp. That's where I found one. But I didn't play around with it.
If it respawns, then it could go collect it every time I load in. I could build my camp right there. Go collect it every time I load in to scrap it to see if I could get mods for it or something. If it works that way.
Yeah, it's a known location for it, so I'm guessing it spawns there quite often.
But it seems like some things you can't mod. I'm hoping that you can mod that. Like, I love the fire axe, but I also really like the multi-purpose axe. It does a little couple points fewer damage, but it has also a solid look to it. But then you go to mod it at the workbench, the fire axe you can mod just fine and dandy. I've never, maybe I just haven't found enough of the multi-purpose axe to find mods for it, but I've never been able to find a mod for it. But I do like that fire axe. Nice. All right, enough dilly-dallying. Defiance has fallen. Ray, do you remember where we were last time we left the quests? I think we were talking with Abby, weren't we?
Yeah, inside Abby's bunker. You go back there after you've activated the antenna, and she tells you how fantastic you are and that you need to locate the Brotherhood of Steel.
And I think if you dig around in her terminal a little bit, you find a hint off to some sort of camp. She remembers an outpost somewhere, but it's not Fort Defiance. We're not on our way there yet.
Yeah, Camp Venture.
Camp Venture, yes, that's what it was called. That was sort of a fun location, a little military base, lots of sort of tents and small little temporary housing, military units. Sort of a neat camp, a couple of different levels to it. Did you have fun running around there?
Yeah, it was interesting, except there was a scorch beast that was flying over the camp.
Oh no. Is that a normal thing?
Well, I don't know. Did you have one?
I don't think so.
I didn't have one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I probably remember that, I think.
So I had to keep ducking in and out of buildings and trying to stay in cover, and it was kind of a pain in the butt. But fortunately, he never attacked. I was able to get the get to the different buildings to get the info we needed.
Okay, so there were a couple of different optional things here in the quest. It was like optional to find the password and optional to get access to this and that. I went ahead and did that stuff. I wonder if you didn't do the stuff where you get the password and get the access, how would you progress through the quest anyway? Why are those marked optional? I was curious, did either of you not do the optional portions there?
Yeah, I definitely did the optional stuff. I guess I didn't really notice when the location for Camp or Fort Defiance popped up, but I have to imagine it's when you're in that the basement of the main bunker area where you get all the where you get the password, the storage key, and stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was in I don't remember what area it was, but there was a note on a table I read that brought up Fort Defiance, and that checkpointed me.
Yeah, let's see, how did it work? You find sort of like that main building that has all the meds and sort of the good junk on shelves, but you go into the basement and there's that locked storage door. I think there's a note on the wall next to the door that says we have to keep storage locked after hours now. We've had incidents of things disappearing. If you'd like to get access to the storage, visit a quartermaster, someone who's what's its name's his bunk. And so you run around for a little bit. I like how this game, you run around for a little bit and it lets you try to find the damn thing on your own. And then it's like, okay, we're pissed tired of watching this guy run around not knowing what he's doing or looking for. Here, now let's toss up a quest marker. Have you noticed that they let you look for things for a little bit and then they post up a quest marker? Is that just because the server is slow, or it's just a sort of like a delayed reaction on purpose?
I've noticed it, definitely noticed it, but yeah, I wonder that too. Is it like, are they taking pity on me at this point, or?
That's what I've always assumed. Because sometimes when you're defending a workshop, like a mole rat will get stuck underground somewhere, like 30 yards off in the distance, and you can't really see it. And eventually, and then like, oh, the quest marker popped up. There it is. Now I can run over and kill it.
Yeah, it happens consistently enough. I think it's got to be something programmed in.
So the basement door there's the note sends you up to the bunk, the quartermaster. You go up to the quartermaster, there's a locker in his room. And you have to use a bobby pin. You pick that lock, you find there's some sort of code. I think it's a terminal code. You find that, you take that back down.
Yeah, the command center password.
No. That's a key, because you have to unlock the key to the door downstairs to get into the storage room, and in the storage room is the code to the terminal, right? And then you take that code to the terminal, and in the terminal you find the location of Fort Defiance. Did I say that right? Is that right?
It seems like I got lucky. Phil showed up with his beta character and unlocked the door for me. So,
oh, you motherfucker!
It's like, I got the key for this, and he opened up the door, and I walked in.
Phil's always greasing everybody's palms, making it easy for everybody.
Yeah, that's what friends are for.
That's hilarious. That's awesome. Alex has definitely done that for me a couple of times. I'll like stand by the door and do the question mark shrug move, be like burp, meaning hello, unlock the door for me, please. Plus, I found enough people around me invest a lot in their pick lock for some reason in this game. Pick lock.
Yeah, that's weird.
A lot of people invest up to 3 stars in that. So I only do 1, because most of the time I have someone on my team I can, bother to say like, hey, can you share pick lock with me a little bit? So I can get into most locks, or people can come over and pick it for me. I know that's annoying. Like, hey, you come pick this one. I'm 2 floors below you. I know. Just come on up.
And they have to completely respect their card before they do it.
Yeah, and then they come over and get into their pit boy, and takes 30 seconds to. Oh God, we need fast loadouts. I know I say it every damn episode down, but gee whiz. Sorry, Ray. Go ahead.
Do you call him Kate? Because you always bring Kate along whenever you need to unlock a door.
Yeah. She's the best. Heard people complaining about Kate today. I didn't know how to feel. I love taking her around. But I'm a follower person. You know what I mean? Oh, speaking of followers, someone found a named dead dog.
Ooh.
In its inventory, a dog helmet, which can be taken to a workbench and modded. What does this mean?
I would love to have a dog meat to show up in this game. That's just me though.
I want pets.
Yeah. Where my camp currently is, I have lots of house cats roaming around.
I want kitties and pets. I got to get the thing.
I found a dog today, but you can't interact with him. So it's only a matter of time. Even with Wasteland Whisper, if you point your gun at him, can you tell him to go back to your camp or something? Gosh, that'd be fun to test out. What is this dog? Tell me about it. Where was it? Was it that one someone was telling me about up on the mountain top? Yeah, on top of the hill just outside of Harper's Ferry. And this is a dog that's always there. Gosh, they got it. They got to give me some sort of something. I really want to. Yeah, try out. Wanders around, scratches at the ground. Craig got a death claw back to his camp, but he said it died fairly quickly. It's like health would just like started going down for some reason. And I wonder if he's played with that more. Craig, have you tested that out? Got more animals back? Was that just a fluke? Do all of them die fairly quickly? Do they stick around for a while? Because I do have the first level of that card, and I do want to
play around with that more if it's worthwhile. But I think I'm at level 96, about to be 97 now. I'm filling out my cards most of the way, and when I'm leveling up, I'm now to the point where I'm thinking, okay, now what do I want? What do I put? What am I maxing out now? I think I've got pretty much everything I need. So I think maybe not at 100, but maybe at like level 105 when I really absolutely do have pretty much all the perks that I want. I might start. I know I said I wasn't going to, but I think instead of just keep getting cards, I think that might actually start respecking the special from the random character roll just a little bit to sort of do that thing that Ray and I were talking about with the how we're going to force the numbers to be a little more extreme. I think I might go ahead and invest a little more in the strength and reduce one of the others. I haven't really done any research into it to see what are the perk cards I can afford to give up for the character. But that's one thing I'll have to do is actually look at all the perk cards in each category and see which ones I absolutely need for the character build. And then eliminate unnecessary points in special categories that I don't need and move those over to most likely strength and perception. I would assume would be the two that I would concentrate on most for this character. But does that cheating on the round table? Is that bad? Respecking special points after I've been doing it for 100 levels?
Yeah, I think at that point, it only makes sense.
And got to 100, or I'm going to get to 100 pretty quickly, maybe even this weekend. I was making the point to Jess. I said, man, that's just so much easier to level up in this game. It's just crazy. So it's like twice as fast as Fallout 4. And, because I've never gotten a character to 100. Maybe I passed one character over level 100, but that was a huge investment in Fallout 4. And this character, I feel like we're only midway through the damn season and it's already past level 100. But then Jess brought up, Andrew, you're one of the people who likes to run into those blast zones when you could still get like tons of XP, and you were like XP farming for a while. And I was like, oh yeah, I was getting like double XP that I would. No wonder I was leveling up twice as fast. If you play the game, if you played Fallout 76 like it was Fallout 4 and only do the quest and stuff, and you don't go into blast zones and do the XP farming, of course you wouldn't level up like you do in Fallout. But I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. I'm a dummy. It's not that Fallout 76 you level up twice as fast. It's just that I was doing the stupid XP exploit.
So the thing that I discovered with my roundtable character is I with him, I had not really done any of that. I was just doing the quest. I wasn't even really doing a lot of side quests or anything. And if you just try to play, straight main quest line, when you start to get to the mire and you're only level 22, 23, it is really tough. And so I took him out on a couple of XP runs with the group just to try to get some levels so that I could hold my own.
Yeah.
So they really don't expect you to take a character straight through the main quest line.
I was sort of experiencing that with my beta character because I was doing, that thing I love to do when I first get a character in a new game. One of my favorite things to do is find the edge of the map all the way around for some reason. I don't know why, but I did it with New Vegas. I do it with Fallout 4. I like my one of my favorite things is just try to find the edge of the map and sort of discover locations as you go. And Fallout 4 gets really nasty as you go from west to east and then east to south, and you're down there in the with all the it's kind of like the mire. It's got all the swamps and stuff down in that area. But I love finding the edge of the map, and I was doing that in Fallout 76 with I don't know, maybe level 10 character, and went up along the western border from the river, and sort of along the northern edge of the map. Started going about a quarter of the way down the far eastern side of the map, And then I just started dying over and over and over. I couldn't get past the eastern side of the map because there was just like level 50 fog crawlers all over the damn place. Couldn't do it. Had to abandon that endeavor. Am I weird finding the edge of the map? That's always one of my favorite things to do.
No, that's always fun. Yeah. The great thing is that they do tend to, to throw you a few things out there, kind of interesting, odd places and stuff. So
I just had a realization. It just hit me all of a sudden. I love finding the edge of the map because it's like literally doing a puzzle. So like if I do a jigsaw puzzle at home, I'm finding all the edge pieces first and then filling all the stuff in the middle. I never even made that connection before. That's probably why my brain is comfortable with solving this puzzle of the map, because I always find the edge pieces first and then fill in the middle as I go. God, that's weird. Right on. So let's get into these quests. We are... Where are we at? We have the password. We're at the terminal. We found where Fort Defiance is.
And lo and behold, it's a big, giant, picture building on the map.
Oh, yeah. Important location alert. Important location alert. I wish on the map, Ray, if you went to the bear,
you'd find a bear.
There's a Yao Guai waiting for you, Like, it only makes sense, right? Or there was a special event that launched or something. I think it's weird that they have the pictures where nothing there is. I fully expected there to be something there each time I went there and was really confused. I was like, oh, there must be bugged. Oh, well. I'll come back later. I'm sure the bear will be there next time. He wasn't there next time.
So I guess I could put chickens where the pheasant is.
Wait, what?
It could be red chickens up there.
Yeah. One of the pictures is a pheasant. But there aren't any pheasants in the game.
The map is kind of confusing as it is because there's a crashed airplane picture on the map, and why would you add that to a map?
Yeah.
The map's a little confusing at times.
Yeah.
Why it's there.
Well, it is a landmark.
It is.
There's also no dandelions at the
there's not
at the PC gathering point.
Yeah.
But it is pretty as hell, and I would like to frame it and hang it on my wall. It's really, really cool art design. Does that wrap up that quest? No, it doesn't. You have to go into... You actually have to get access to Fort Defiance. And as Ray mentioned, it's a big, beautiful building drawn on your map. Actually used to be, what? An asylum of some sort, right? A penitentiary of some sort.
Allegheny Insane Asylum.
Oh, yes.
Supposedly haunted in real life.
Oh, do you know anything about him other than that?
So I used to watch some of them like ghost hunter shows, and they were always, a couple of them had gone to that and stuff. Yeah, supposedly it's haunted. I don't know if you're into that, but
oh yeah, my wife used to love like Ghost Hunters International and Paranormal State, and she used to like to watch a lot of those shows. So I would watch some of them with her. And
I'd watch them and then not want to go to bed at night because it's dark.
It's too scary. No, but they're constantly going to, mental wards, asylums, burned down orphanages, just like the most terrible places on earth. No. So I assume haunted, but just by the inmates.
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's all sorts of crazy stuff that went on there back when it was what it was.
So, because it was a sort of medical facility in this location, if you are short on aluminum, this is one of the places you need to mark on your map. There are all sorts of trays around on the first 3 floors off to the right side. You can hop into all those rooms up and down the hallway. Probably leave there with, I don't know, easily 40, 50 aluminum, I would bet.
Yeah, it is substantial.
Also on the other side, if you get access later on in this quest to the Brotherhood of Steel portion of this building, this is also a good ballistic fiber place to put on your list. You know, you want to hit up Camp McClintock, you want to hit up Clancy Manor, and then you want to hit up Fort Defiance here, and you can get all of your ballistic fiber pretty quickly if you're putting it together for that Under Armour, Andrew, which you stupidly scrapped, you dummy.
Yeah, there's a military ammo bag in almost every room on that Brotherhood side.
Yeah, it's very prevalent up there. So I don't know, at least 8 to 10
Oh,
bags.
there's a bunch. Yeah,
A good amount up there, and each bag has at least 2 pieces, right?
I think so.
Is there a scrapper perk where you could get 4 pieces if you have it activated when doing that?
There's a scrapper perk, but I don't know if it works that good. I don't think I've taken it.
Because that would be how I'd like that card to work, is you could get more from scrapping things.
Double.
Well, I don't know, maybe not double, but a chance to,
Yeah.
like Super Duper as a
Oh,
chance.
man. When you're making flux, that Super Duper is an amazing thing.
Yeah, I finally maxed that out. I have 3 levels in Super Duper finally.
Yeah.
So that does help a lot.
Big.
I need to go on a hard mass run, Eddie. I need to go get my flux together. Gosh, I can't believe I scrapped that Under Armour.
You gotta get one of your higher level friends to bomb the old White Springs and head on in.
Yeah, so I mean, I should. It's funny. I run around with people who are level 40 characters, and they're already doing missile silo runs and launching off nukes, and I'm level 100 over here, going like, "Okay, have fun storming the castle, guys."
Don't feel bad. I'm the same way. Christian goes in there and he's like, "Come on, somebody come help me." I'm like, "I can't. I'm not that far.
I'm not
I'm
allowed yet."
I'm level 108, but I can't do anything like that."
One of my main complaints about Fallout, I feel like I'm complaining a lot tonight. One of my main complaints about Fallout 76 is in Fallout 4, being the host of a show about Fallout, one thing I did like to do was save certain save files at the beginning of quests that we were assigned, so that if I happen to want to be like, "Ooh, I need to brush up on this quest," I could go back onto that save file and sort of run through the quest again before the show. And I can't really do that with this game. Like, once you play the quest, it is locked out and done. You can't run that quest again until you start another character and play another fucking 50 levels to get to the quest again.
Yeah, and if you're playing with friends when you're doing some of these main quests, it's hard to hear the holotapes because everybody's talking.
Yeah,
I'm easily distracted.
You can't be like, "Hey guys, shut the fuck up for 38 seconds, please." Or no, not 38 seconds.
A minute and 50 seconds.
Shut the fuck up for the next 8 minutes because I'm going to listen to some holotapes, please.
Yeah, I'm easily distracted. It's a real problem for me.
Oh, goodness sakes. Yeah, and they need to be able to turn up the volume of the holotapes, just because you get attacked. You need to be able to pause it too. I know I complain about that every week, but you need to be able to pause it or replay those. I hate the autoplay ones because you get jumped. They should at least be able to realize, hey guys, maybe we should program the game to not play the autoplay holotapes when we're about to throw a wave of scorched atoms, where they'll get jumped and not be able to hear what the F is going on in the game. Let's not toss the autoplay holotape on at out of of max volume of 10. Let's play it at a 2 and then throw a bunch of waves of scorched atom who make a bunch of noise, and shoot guns.
Yeah,
Lots of shotguns too.
Shotguns. Oh.
Shoot shotguns, so it's super loud. Or even better, when the mole miner are coming around. they're fucking grunting and emo metal lyric grunting.
Yeah. Oh, they're heavy breathing.
They got major sleep apnea, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, they need that Darth Vader mask thing. Their trachea is collapsing. They need some help.
Yeah, pressurize that system.
Oh yeah, good call. Gosh, that would be a fun side quest. Rescue the moment, separate the moment from their. Are they melting into their uniforms? What exactly is happening there?
You're to be pretty well bonded to them.
Yeah, they're all like hunched over. Poor fellas. All they want to do is sing.
Yeah, I'd be sad too if I was like that.
So we enter Fort Defiance here, and their main goal
Is to find the damn elevator.
Well, before that, you need to actually power up the building in order to get access to the elevator. So, in order to power up the building, I always run off to the right side as you enter the building and go up like the flights of stairs at the end of the hallway, and then sort of weave back around and go up another flight and then weave back around. I think it's on the 3rd floor, off to the left hand side. If you go through there's a jump that I don't know how I would have done it if I didn't have marsupial. I don't know how I would have accessed, because I couldn't find any ramps, I couldn't find any back doors, I couldn't find anything else to access it. But there's this little tiny ledge I had to hop out onto, and because of I had marsupial, I actually made the jump. But if I didn't have marsupial, I have no idea how I would have gotten access to this location. But then you just go down to the end of the hallway on the left hand side. There's up on the wall, there's in a small room up on the wall, there is a sort of like a power switch, a breaker switch, an old-timey thing, like if you're trying to imagine Dr. Frankenstein throwing the switch to bring Frankenstein back to life, that style of thing. So you throw that switch, and then it says, you have now powered up Fort Defiance. So the elevator now has power. You can run over there to the elevator and get access, run up there, a couple of floors to the elevator, pop out there and try to get access to the upper floors, that sort of stuff. And the elevator says something about how you, in order to access this Brotherhood of Steel area, the upper floors, you need to be a member of the Brotherhood of Steel, and you need to have military access or something. And so you pop around to the terminal, and the terminal says, oh boy, what are we about to get into here?
A trip to the DMV.
This is a honey fucking do list. I'm doing chores in the middle of my video games all of a sudden, Ray. What? I don't understand what is happening. They sent me Ray.
Before they programmed this quest, somebody had to have,
oh my god,
spent 5 days in line.
A really bad day.
Because this thing nails it on the nose.
It's fucking yeah. Oh jeez.
It's a solid DMV simulator right there.
That's right.
Had to get like a fast passport access once. Like, you know how many times back and forth between home and the DMV you go to, and then depending on who you talk to, they say a different form you need. It's like they really nailed it. And thank God I haven't had to do this in a while. Thank God my DMV is now just an automated automated, machine. I don't have to actually sit through that and do all that stuff anymore. But goodness sakes, this is just... Are we okay? So how does this pitch meeting go? Bethesda guys, they're all in their meetings. They're putting quests together they're doing storyboards. They're getting all the storyline together. Their programming guys are like, okay, we need to get this mapped out. So let's okay, where are we in the quest line? Okay, we're at Fort Defiance. That's good place here. Now the Brotherhood of Steel, we're going to introduce these guys. Okay, yeah, okay. So now, Steve, you got any ideas? Oh, grumble, 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 grumble. Steve, you okay, buddy? Grumble, 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 grumble. You have a bad day there, Steve? Grumble, 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 grumble. What's wrong, Steve? Oh, Steve just had spent all morning at the fucking DMV. So Steve tosses out this grand idea. And here we are running through the fucking DMV because Steve had a bad fucking day over there at the Bethesda morning meeting, right?
It had to be fresh for somebody, because I mean this is, I mean, you get the raw feeling of frustration in this.
The nonchalantness of them robots is.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's walk through it step by step. There's nothing really my roundtable role could affect by this. It's not like intelligence could help you outsmart this thing. It's not like charisma could help you schmooze your way through this. But we have a long sort of weird process to go through to get first of all, what does the terminal back at Fort Defiance actually say that we need to do? We need a citizen's ID or a military? We need a military ID, right?
I think it says just a photo ID.
A photo ID and military training is what's required to become a member of the Brotherhood, I think.
Okay, military training and a photo ID.
Yeah.
So, do we have to go to Camp McClintock now, or is that later? Do we get the ID first and then do? I don't remember what order I did
I
that.
think I went to Camp McClipboard first, I think.
The clipboard, that's great. Yeah, lots of springs there, right?
Oh, yeah. You got plenty of them.
Yeah. And like we talked about with Clint last week, you do your little loop of ballistic fiber there. Lots of military ammo bags and a couple of rolls of tape and stuff.
Yeah, if you're lucky, because everybody on the planet knows about that.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like the high school now, like Eddie was saying, you walk in there and you actually see a couple of pumpkins sitting around, you're like, oh, thank God. No one's
excited.
armed the server yet. That's very true. Like with I thought that I had a nice little secret spot with Clancy Manor up there, but most times I go there now. Just like a couple months later, it's most of the times that it's been taken. It's crazy. People know everything already, guys. The secret's out.
Yeah.
All right, so we need to obtain a photo ID. That says in the terminal. So we need to progress to the Capitol building in Charleston. And there's a bunch of running around we're about to do, which is always a grand old time. But at least it's all within this building for the most part, isn't it not?
In the general area.
Oh, there you do have to go outside to a mailbox, right? Yeah. But okay, so they nail it out of the ballpark, but let's go through the process. Do you remember step by step what what we had to do here?
I can't remember the exact parts of it. There were so many steps to that, and the rage was building as I sat there in that room. When I got in there, there was no quest marker really either, and I didn't notice the terminal in the back for a good 5 minutes.
That's what I was going to say. There's that one terminal that actually kicks everything off that I didn't see either. I think it's called the application terminal or application processing or something like that.
Yeah, I can't remember exactly what it is either. You go back there and you fill a
on the
bunch
back
of information. They want to know your address, and I know I put in Vault 76 for the address, and it's some sort of form. Acquire some sort of form from that.
Yeah, well, you have to get the application form started, and then you go up and you talk to a robot, Mr. Handy. There's a B and a C, and I believe you're supposed to talk to the B first, and then you're trying to get information here. You're trying to get a process done, and of course, there's no one else around. But then he says, "You'll have to wait in line."
Yeah, it's got to take a number.
Yeah.
Please take a number.
And you can't shoot the robots.
Oh gosh, such a pity. So there's an old dot matrix printer right off to the side, and you see it do the little scan slow print for you. You take that number, and you have to wait for you literally have to wait for the robot.
There's another terminal you have to go to activate the number system.
Oh yeah, that's right. In the middle of the room, there's the access terminal, and you have to activate. There's the B and C, like I mentioned. You have to activate the B, and then they'll start calling numbers, right?
Yeah, it really should be labeled Ghoul activation.
Yeah, they don't seem to like that loudspeaker very much.
Yeah, as soon as the megaphone kicks over with them calling out numbers, it sends a wave of ghouls at you as you're waiting. At least they give you something to do while you wait, right?
It's true.
It's better than a magazine. So you fight a wave of, I don't know, 6, 7 ghouls as you're waiting. And then I think they literally called my number once, and I was off doing stuff and didn't notice. and I waited too long. And then when I went up, it had been too long, so I had to start the process over again.
Oh yeah, I had to do it 4 times
Oh my god!
Oh, boy.
because I just wasn't.
Well-
I I had no idea what my number was, and so like what number? How am I supposed to know? So they start calling numbers. So I run up to the bot, and he's like, "I'm sorry, you've got to take a number and wait your turn." So back to the terminal, launch it again, listen. Okay, that had to have been my number.
Nice.
So I mean, you get distracted. There's ghouls. You're busy.
Well, are you literally supposed to notice your ID number when you take it off the printer? Because I assume when you pick up the piece of paper, it says ID number blah 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 added.
It said somewhere on the screen. I remember that. Yeah, notification popped up.
Can you look at it in your inventory? Can you refer back to it?
I don't believe it was in my inventory. I don't.
I did not look.
There's so much crap in there. How can you tell?
The
I
amount
know.
of notes I have. Oh,
Yeah,
man.
do you guys dump notes that you've read? Do you have a system of clearing out holotapes and notes and stuff? Or you just carry everything because they're weightless?
Yeah, clearly no.
Yeah, no, it's full.
Yeah. I think that would be something I'd like to do as I listen to things, mark them somehow or keep track of them by dropping them out of my inventory into my my stash. I still have tons of holotapes that I've picked up and still not listened to in this game. Lots of stuff I need to go through. All right. Sorry, got distracted again. We are
Keep saying that your number is in your inventory.
Oh.
Who said that?
Steve,
Nice.
the guy from New Zealand.
Yeah. Thanks, Steve. Oh, no, he's from.
Well, he's from San Diego, but he lives in New Zealand now.
I think he's from Michigan, right?
Oh, everybody.
Well, everybody's from Michigan.
No, except Eddie. Eddie's from Australia. I don't know if you knew that.
4 out of 5 Great Lakes prefer Michigan.
The let me see. Erie does not.
No, Ontario does not.
Ah, damn, Ontario. Forgot about Ontario.
Everybody does. Don't feel
Darn
bad.
Canadians. No one suspects the Canadians.
So once you finally do get up to the bot B2, he's like, "Oh yeah, you've got the wrong form."
Okay. Yes, this has happened to me before, and yes. The first one will tell you have the wrong form. You go to the second one, when you bring back the correct form, they tell you that you were supposed to bring the form that you brought to the first one.
Yeah.
The first time. Sons of bitches.
Which is classic DMV.
I hate it. All right, so okay, you have the wrong form. So does he tip you off where you have to go? My quest marker sort of pointed me where to go.
So I think at that point, yeah, you go back to. Is it the original machine? I'm trying to remember.
I thought
Or is that the one where you've got to go to another building?
I thought that this one was down the hallway, but in the same building, like sort of a different segment, like in the courthouse segment of the building, and an office, and an office locked behind a lock, in sort of like a box of papers. It looked like a file box of clamshell folder tape or something, maybe.
Yeah. Well, that's what it was down by the courthouse. I remember that, or the courtroom, near the courtroom.
Or that could have been something else that we had to go fetch, because we had to fucking fetch like 8 things in this quest. So who knows?
Right.
I could be misremembering the order of things we had to go
I
get.
went through the mayor's office to go get it, and then when they sent me back to the mayor's office, I'm like, I was just there. Come on.
Yeah.
And they love to do that.
Yeah.
And he tells you that you need a piece of mail with your address on it.
Proof of residency. So yeah, you got to go steal some
It's
mail.
like getting a library card.
it's it, so it sends you outside. You go, there's a mailbox buried in the rubble that has a piece of junk mail in it. You take it back to him and he says, "Oh, the address doesn't match your form."
All right, so you have okay. All right, so first you have the wrong form. You have to go run and you fetch the form, you bring the form back. And then what was next? It was the
I think it was the junk mail.
The junk.
Yeah.
Okay, then after you have the form, you have to have the an address, a local address to go onto the form with your photo to get a photo ID. And so you run outside, and I don't know, it's not very far away. Around the corner, there's sort of a broken down pile of garbage leaned up against a building, and a trash can sort of toppled over on its side. And in that trash can, you can pull out. That's actually kind of a funny thing, wasn't it? Wasn't it like a sweepstakes postcard entry thing?
Like that, yeah.
Gosh, I don't remember exactly what it was. Did I write it down anywhere? Acquire postmarked letter in Charleston from broken, fallen over mailbox. Here it is. A Rockwell Clearinghouse postcard from Walla Walla, Washington. And I didn't know if this was a reference. Okay, I wrote this down because I wanted to see if this was a reference that anyone out in the community knew. Because you know how Bethesda loves to plant like just little references to different like sci-fi stories or like horror and the tons of pop culture references all over the place here. So and this address, does this make any, does this ring any bells to anybody? The Rockwell Clearinghouse in Walla Walla, Washington. First of all, does that mean anything to anyone? Rockwell. And the address is 1203 Grape Street in Charleston, West Virginia. So Grape Street, 1203 Grape Street, Rockwell, Walla Walla, Washington. Is that I like to watch movies and stuff, but I wouldn't consider myself a huge pop culture buff. I don't get tons of references and stuff like that. Does that ring any bells to anybody? Because they love weaving that sort of shit in.
Yeah, I've got a cousin that lives in Walla Walla.
Well, you should go see if he can go to that address, please. Oh, wait, no, the address is in West Virginia. My bad. That's stupid. The sweepstakes was from Walla Walla.
Yeah.
It's sending you to West Virginia. You don't have the address in Walla Walla. So yeah, you grab that piece of junk mail, a little postcard signing up for sweepstakes, and you bring that back in. And then he says that the address does not match the form. And then that makes you want to say, if you fucking knew what the address was supposed to be, why did you have to make me go do it? Why couldn't you just fill in the address in the first place? Ugh. It's like they knew it. Ben, you're right, Ray. They had just done this earlier in the morning. And so after the address doesn't match, they then gives you another objective. What do you have to do after that? You have to go get it embossed or something by a stamp.
Yeah, they want to see your birth certificate, which you obviously don't have.
Oh my god. Okay, you're right. You're totally right. They say the next step is, oh, your address is incorrect. Now we need to confirm everything with your birth certificate.
Which you don't have, so he sends you down to the mayor's office to get your form to get the official seal of the mayor on it.
You need to get the official seal of the mayor to get approval of this, and of course the robot thinks that the mayor's still alive and all this stuff, and someone's checking into this background work, whereas you are just cheating left and right as fast as possible to get through around and all this stuff. But again, Eddie, you make your way back down the hallway.
Yeah, back to the mayor's office that I just passed through, who luckily he left his seal out before he died.
Yeah.
Thanks, buddy. That's really nice of you. Get it notarized here.
It seems like every time I pass through this building, more super mutants seem to spawn.
Did I say embossed? I meant notarized. What does embossed mean? That's something else, right?
When something's notarized, it is embossed. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't mess that up then. So you do find the mayor's stamp there, and you mark your form and take that back. Are our woes over? Is the horror story done? Or is chore time done? Is honey-do list over?
No, because you've got to activate
Damn it.
bot C, which more ghouls.
You sons of bitches. Okay, why do you have to activate bot C?
Well, because bot B sends you to go talk to bot C, but you can't talk to bot C until you've activated them.
Okay, so you have to turn the power on or activate section C. I assume bot C. We're all trying to get a photo ID here. Bot B is hassling you all the way. Make sure you get all your stuff right. And of course, their specialization is that they work in that fucking department. They can't do anything else. So that means that after they've been working in that department for years to get upgraded, boom, you're in Department C. Department C, I assume stands for Department Camera, because the only thing this robot does, the first one hassles you and hassles you and hassles you, and if you actually can break through all the bureaucracy and get through to part C, then you can finally get your picture taken eventually, if you can make it through. After you activate this guy, go back to the computer in the middle, get it activated. Of course, ring a ding ding. Here come all the ghouls again. You wake those guys up, and then eventually, I assume there's another number waiting. Is this you waiting for numbers? Is this what's happening? You have to take another number. God. All right, you talk to C. He makes you go get another number, and then while you have the number, then you activate the terminal in the middle, which then kicks off the ghouls again. And then after you kill all the ghouls, I assume he'll call your number. And if you're not like Ray and miss it 4 times, hopefully you'll catch it, and you can go up and talk to C. What happens after that? Where are we now?
Well, so eventually, he tells you, "Oh, yeah, no, you're fine. Just go get your picture taken."
Yeah, dude, what are you hassling about? Just go over there and take a picture. You're fine. What? He's implying that all the hassle we went through before, probably unnecessary.
Yeah.
God bless you, Robot C.
I tried after I got my picture taken. I tried to murder the robots. It does not work.
Here's my big question. Of course, I like to try to skip through unnecessary bullshit that you don't have to do. Is that stamp there when you first walk into the building? Can I run and get that stamp and avoid all this BS?
I don't think we have the right form at that point. I'm not sure.
Can I get the mail and the stamp on my way in and
highly doubtful.
All that stuff only sparks when you kick off the quest, probably, right?
Yeah, until the quest, tells you to go get the mail. Yeah. The mail is not going to be there.
Yeah, I always look at the bottom of the screen. If you roll down on the wiki on Wikipedia, on Nukipedia on the wiki, you can see for the glory of the PC Master Race, those guys who are lucky enough to be able to scroll their game forward and backward by stage level, they have all the stage levels marked off. So I like reading that because they also have it organized by what the quests that are lined up with each stage level. So it'll be like stage level 10. And then it'll be like, go find the information here, blah, blah, blah. Stage level 20, go blah, 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 So it tells you each stage level, which is really fun because it basically just does you a quick walkthrough for each quest. And I really like looking through that breakdown. You PC guys are nice that you have that capability. I know you could do that with Skyrim and Fallout 4.
Yeah, not so much here.
Yeah, I was going to ask, that'd probably be weird in this game. They probably don't let you mess with that sort of thing, right?
There's no active
no terminal, right?
Yeah. You can't go console on this.
Console, that's what you call it. I said terminal. Console commands. Yeah. Sorry. I don't know you guys, your mysterious world of the PC Master Race. Your ways are mysterious and wise to us.
Hey, it saved my bacon more than once in Skyrim and in Fallout 4.
Yeah, to be able to hop stages back and forth.
Yeah, when you get stuck, where you've got a quest that won't advance.
Yeah, that's the worst. The only thing you can do on consoles is either revert back to old saves or just fast travel around and see if things get unstuck. Sometimes that works. Waiting. Oh God, you ever done the waiting 30 days thing? That actually works a lot.
No.
Things get stuck in Skyrim, and you can wait for 30 days in a row, and a lot of those things will unstick because there's some sort of weird timing cycle there that'll reset a lot of stuff after the it's either 28 or 30 days. I don't remember. You can't do that sort of thing here.
No set stage.
Ray, there's no way you bought anything in the Atomic Shop. Are you an Atomic Shop guy, Eddie?
Oh yeah. Yeah, in fact, I was doing pretty good just doing the challenges to collect atoms, but they had this big sale going on, and I finally decided, if it helps keep the servers running, I'll give them a few of my dollars, and I had to buy some atoms.
What have you invested in? Are you buying a lot of stuff for your camp?
Yeah, power armor paint jobs.
Ooh, yeah, there you go. That's I see a lot of their power armor guys on Xbox running around in cool paint jobs. What do you have any favorites?
Well, the one I liked isn't on there right now. I mean, for a short while they had the hot rod power armor paint, and it's gone right now. I'm waiting for it to come back. It'll come back.
Well, they'll bring it back.
Yeah, I think
so these things, speaking of the Atomic Shop, these things, they're cycling off a lot of objects right now, and they're putting them on 30, 40, 50, 80%, not 80, but significant portions off because they're cycling them out to bring in new items. I assume when they drop the new content with the distillery items, I assume they'll have a lot of stuff they'll be wanting to sell off. So they're making room, as they say. But do they actually need to make room? I assume this is some sort of some sort of fiscal economic manipulation factor that they're doing.
Yeah.
Oh, you mark these things off, and people will rush and spend a lot of caps. They empty out all their caps so that they don't have any caps. But when this new distillery stuff drops, everyone will be out of caps. So that there's lots of cool stuff with this new not DLC, but this new content stuff they're putting out. So people who have now just emptied out all of their caps. I keep saying caps. It's atoms, dummies. You're not dummies. I'm the dummy. If you emptied out all of your atoms, then they release this new DLC with all this new content. So then you have been now manipulated into spending your actual real money to get even more of this new cool stuff that they've just made available. Plus, they've now made it available where you can display all this cool stuff in your camp that you didn't have available to do before because you had a low carry weight and they're testing out servers. But now you can display all this cool stuff in your camp, and you've been manipulated.
I have
put real money into atoms.
Well,
it's not just you, Eddie. It's their underlying plan that they don't want you to know that you are being manipulated into actually putting your
right. And as long as this game stays profitable for them, they'll keep it up and running, so
keep the server alive
here and there. Yeah. And I've gotten a lot of enjoyment out of this game, so I don't feel too bad about it.
Speaking of which, keeping the servers alive, another way to do that would be to charge a small fee for server maintenance. And that would entail having private servers. Is that something anyone has seen promise in? Because that every place I've seen people are talking about that needs to be happening.
I bet it'll be at least a year before we see it.
There's no mention of it in the current roadmap.
No.
Can you explain to me why?
Well, part of it is that they're still trying to figure out how to keep these stupid things running.
That's true. I've felt really stable the last couple of weeks, though. Have you guys ever had trouble on PC? It always seems like PC is more stable anyway.
It's been pretty good, but I've noticed the server's not repopulating too. I was on a lot of the day on Sunday, at least 12 hours. And by the end of the day, there was just 3 of us on the server that were playing together. I mean, it's like whenever somebody got on that was going to a different server, nobody was coming back in to repopulate ours. It's a little lonely.
That's strange.
It is strange. It's really weird.
Huh.
I've noticed it a couple times lately when we've been playing for long stretches.
So does that seem like that there's some sort of error where the server is filled at one point, but then something happens where it stops putting in new players who are trying to join new servers? It just, for some reason
that server's not taking new players, because if you back out to the main menu and go into a different server, they're full. They're populated like they normally are.
That is crazy.
Just a weird thing.
Very strange.
And it's weird. It's really weird when there's only like 3 of you on a server. It is lonely almost.
I kind of want to try that though.
Oh, I know. There's a real sense of security to it. Nobody's coming to take your workshop or give you any hassle.
I don't know why, but I haven't really had a ton of trouble with that. I'm not it's not a giant concern. I'm not like looking over my shoulder, you know, but I do. It is one of my great sorrows, you know. I will again, R.I.P. Daryl, say, you know, we miss Leon. I really miss playing with Leon, and he was literally griefed out of playing the game until, and I hope it's not a year like you think, Eddie, but until we get private servers and he can be guaranteed he's not going to have to deal with that. Is there any promise for him, any hope for Leon and people like who hate being griefed to death and out of playing the game with this new
survival mode?
PvP survival mode? Is there any hope here? Do we have any? I know that they love to be vague, but do we know anything about that?
If they don't make changes to adventure mode and get rid of the PvP aspect, nothing's going to change because people still go to the adventure mode server because it's easy pickings there, and some of these people are just jerks.
What's the point of a survival mode server if they're not going to remove it from the adventure mode server?
I hope they do. There's a lot of people calling for it on Reddit, so I hope they're listening and that they do it.
Yeah. Well, maybe Alex will mention that later, and when we get to the update.
The iguana bits.
The iguana update. We're pretty close. I think we're almost done with this quest. Did we finish? No, we have to go back to Fort Defiance, and you think you're going to talk to someone you find Senior Knight Wilson's terminal when you get access to the grid. There's a little special room back there. And he sort of tips you off to what Operation Touchdown. That you have to find information about the Scorched Beast, people going out after the Scorched Beast. I think you might even hear mention of the last name Taggarty at this point.
Paladin Taggarty.
And that is the quest guy you're going to be following. He's like, if you follow the secret of Taggarty, you'll also come across the secret of the Scorched and Scorched Beast. So that is where we're headed now, off to find this Taggarty person. We now have access to Fort Defiance. Does this provide us any benefits? What do we have here at Fort Defiance? If we're now part of the Brotherhood of Steel, what sort of benefits does that give us here at this point?
I haven't found any.
Yeah, I just noticed the plans for the ultrasight armor popped up in my inventory, but
yeah, you should check your inventory, see if you have a
look.
I think we get ultrasight power armor.
Yeah, could very well be in there. Yeah, I'll have to look.
Yeah.
Or maybe that's after the Belly of the Beast quest.
That could be. I've been shuffling around power armor a lot
It might
lately.
be after Belly of the Beast. So anyway, my plan that'll conclude our quest. Everyone out there who's doing play along feedback, make sure you remember you have to do back to basic. Throw it in here. Give yourself time to throw a third quest in there. I know that it only says 2 quests, but you're going to have to do back to basic if you want to actually complete Recruitment Blues. Yet, remember, you might have to take yourself a couple of notes so that you can remember for your feedback, because we're not doing back to basic for this batch of feedback. You're doing back to basic for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Good Lord, 3 weeks from now. So yeah, definitely take a couple of notes while you're doing that so you can report on that quest next time. Define Blues.
So my quest wasn't quite finished.
I know what happened.
So I got back into the elevator to go down and walk out. Normally I fast travel, back to my camp from inside a building when I finish a quest, but I wanted to go back down through the downstairs and pick up some junk. And so I hopped in the elevator, and I could hear some noise, but I couldn't tell what it was.
Oh no.
And so I pushed the button to go down to the first floor.
Oh no.
And then all of a sudden in the elevator with me is a legendary glowing Wendigo.
In the elevator.
In the elevator.
That reminds me of a scene from like Alien or something, you know? Like beep 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 beep.
Yeah. It was
It's somewhere near me. Beep beep. Oh fuck, where is it? Beep beep. It's in the ceiling. Beep beep. Oh god, it's in the elevator.
yeah, so fortunately I hadn't made it through the downstairs and picked up any junk. So I just left my bag. I'm like, screw it. I'm not going back.
Yeah. This quest right here is exactly how far I got when I was trying to do a speed run through on my beta character to try to get as much done as possible to report back, so I could think about formatting the Roundtable season for the first time. This is where I got to with my beta character, and I just died over and over and over again because of a like glowing legendary Wendigo that I couldn't best. And I was playing solo that whole time. I wasn't really joining up teams and playing with a lot of people, but that was at one point I did have to go get someone to help me kill. I think I got Pat to come help me to kill that thing because it was just an impossible bugger. Do we know anything when that thing pops up? Because when I did it for my beta character, it was on the right-hand side down the hallway before I had access to the elevator when I was trying to get access to flip on the Frankenstein power switch. It was up in that area where it killed me over and over and over and over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, I don't know where he came from. I had never seen him before. All I'd seen in there were ghouls. And so it was quite the surprise. But fortunately, it was after I had completed the quest. So,
nice.
I just left him.
Screw the bag
for the next guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was nothing in it because I had, on my way back from the DMV, I stopped at my camp, which is just right across the street from Fort Defiance.
Do you guys know the terminals that tell the story of Wendigos? Does anybody know the history of them, what they used to be before they were like transformed into their hideous structure?
There's a legend that they used to be cannibals or something like that, I think.
I have no idea. Someone was mentioning that there are terminal entries somewhere in the ritual. I don't know. Right? Didn't you just did all that ritual stuff, so probably not.
I didn't see anything on them.
Yeah, I don't remember, but someone told me that there's information out there on, because I was just asking, where do these guys come from? What's their deal? They said, well, there's a terminal or holotape or something that talks about it. So I'd be interested to hear that. Maybe I have heard it already and just forgot. But
it seems like one of the holotapes that play like the legends that are local legends you pick up here and there.
Like where were those? There was some in the basement. Was that in the holotape duplicator? No. There was an Assaultron defending a terminal that I needed to see, and there was a bunch of the like local legend crypto.
Yeah.
Where was that? Was that at not the satellite array? It's not even called the satellite array in this game. It's called something else. That was the Fallout 4 thing. Oh, anyway.
So, according to the wiki, they're humans that were mutated into by radiation into deadly cannibalistic creatures with emaciated bodies that reflect their insatiable hunger.
Okay, so they weren't cannibals before the.
That's what I think that's what it was tied into that when you had to go get the key fragment from the Gourmands. That's why I think that's why the Wendigo was tied into that. It was kind of suggesting that was one of the.
Yeah. Okay. I'm really slow, but I'm starting to put it together.
I just get lucky sometimes.
All right. Thanks for playing along with our quest. We'd like to hear your feedback, everyone out there. Right into thefalloutfeed@gmail.com. We'd love to hear your feedback next week on the show. Speaking of feedback, we did have a couple of submissions, people who didn't quite fit it in last week. We have an update here from Lee. And then we also have Alex's Iguana Bits update. Everyone's been a big fan of that. Produced a little bit Alex has been putting together for us. He's been gathering information from the vault thing update, and then also any sort of things he hears on the side. So we're looking forward to hearing that here in a few minutes. And also, if we have time, we'll try to cram into the Fallout Terminal Velocity that we skipped last week because we didn't have time. But we're already running late into the show, of course, like we do always. So let's go ahead and listen to Lee with his character. Thanks, Lee.
Greetings, Fallout Feed guys and gals. This is Lee Benjamin with Free State's Folly. Loner entered Abby's bunker and found it to be quite small compared to a vault. It did seem to provide the basics of protection and sustenance. She grudgingly admitted that the Free Staters had probably done the best they could with what they had. A note near the door from R. Fields wondered where Abby was and told her not to go to Watoga as it wasn't safe. Inside, she found giant irradiated roaches, a feature even of Vault-Tech's vaults. Several consoles seemed to make up Abby's scorch detection system. One reported that the sensors in the mire needed maintenance. There was a safe on the floor, but Loner couldn't open it. Abby's terminal revealed that she was the last survivor of the Free States. She found a workbench and repaired Madigan's uplink. She also found a fusion cord that the bunker no longer needed, or at least Loner needed it more to keep her power armor, such as it was, operating. At the Scorch Detection System terminal, selecting uplink repaired triggered a recording which told her that it was good that the uplink was repaired, but there were detectors in the mire that needed repairs and upgrades for it to work. The sensors hadn't been able to take the changing conditions in the mire and needed better motors and heating coils to remove the humidity in the boxes. She was directed to Raleigh Clay's bunker for the needed parts. The last entry on Abby's terminal said she had gone to the top of the world to find Madigan's uplink. How did she know it was there? Heading to the south, she was careful as she had already skirted around some mire lurks. Then near an upended trailer and a pick-em-up truck, she saw 3 of the Wendigos. She took aim and shot one. Only the one headed toward her. Apparently they weren't in a pack or clutch or whatever you call a group of Wendigos. At close range, she was able to use the black diamond sword that Rose had given her to take it out. Similar tactics helped her clear the road, and she continued on her way. Near her house, she found several mirelurks and a giant crab wearing a small panel van like a shell. Honing her tactics, she was able to take them all out and proceed to the house, which had a sign saying, Excelsior Model Home. It wasn't a good marketing tool anymore, as most of the first floor was gone and had the second floor sagging into what was left. It did provide some shelter, and a note about how the house had been found abandoned on solid ground, and later a mysterious fog had rolled in, and the entire area started changing into the mire. Loner had already seen what had happened to the wildlife in the area and was amazed that the very ground had been affected to the point where the house standing on it started sinking in. To the south, she found the Dolly Sods Wilderness area, which included some Yaoguai and a large visitor center building. Continuing south, she snuck through the Dyer chemical plant and found Raleigh Clay's bunker. It wasn't even locked. While looking for the fan motors, heating coils, and some schematics, she ran out of fusion cores and was moving slowly in her power armor. Loner found Raleigh's terminal, which was locked beyond her ability to unlock it. She found the last heating coil at L. Ames's bunker to the north, near the model home. It also was not locked. She also found her log, called The Mire. It described straggler vines, bugs, and other nasties that came along with it. Ella had a PhD in medical science, and she could not believe that radiation alone could cause all the changes that had come to the mire. There must have been something else at work here, too. Ella was delivering some research on something she called Rad Shield when she went missing. Loner eventually found L. Ames's body in a destroyed house southwest of Abby's bunker. In a shack to the west, she found Shelby's terminal and uploaded the required data. She still hadn't found a replacement fusion cell. Doing the slow walk, Loner took stock of some holotapes she had found. Madigan's encounter told her about how Madigan of the Fire Breathers had wanted to learn more about the Free States and started messing with one of their devices to get their attention. It turned out that what he had found was a Scorch Beast lure, which used sonics to disorient the Scorch Beasts and make them vulnerable. Another holotape, Family and So-Called Friends, told of the disastrous decision to rebuild Harper's Ferry and the friends who abandoned them in the face of the scorched threat. The last tape, Never-Ending Missions, told of the struggle to initially set up the scorch detectors, which was an exercise in taking beatings, healing up, and finding resources to set up the next one. Loner took the motors and upgraded them with the heaters and returned to Abby's bunker. On the scorch detection terminal, she selected Motors Upgraded. Abby's recorded message updated the tasks that needed to be done to fix the scorched detector system. Fix the detectors in the mire by installing the upgraded motors. Take the repaired uplink to Rose along with a holotape, which will explain to her why it's in her best interest to help us by installing the uplink. Then go back to Abby's bunker for further instructions. She did all these things, including talking to Rose again, which she dreaded, but Abby's holotape helped to minimize that pain. When Rose got the repaired uplink, she actually told Madigan's corpse, "Mission accomplished." On Lorna's return to Abby's bunker, she released a master holotape which needed to go into a terminal in the Harper's Ferry arsenal to tie the network together and sync the detectors. Some of the Free States people had lived in and escaped from Harper's Ferry. It turned out that her camp was quite near Harper's Ferry, so a stop by the camp for a good night's rest was a welcome bonus to this arduous task. Harper's Ferry was almost due east of Loner's camp, past Berkeley Springs, where she got a strange transmission that said, "Looks like we'll have to find something else to occupy our time then." She had no clue where that had come from. Loner found the end of a rail line with the bumpers mounted backwards. Whoever had put them on had no clue. She also found a boarded-up train station and a bot-stop robot dispensing station. It had 6 stations, all of them offline. She proceeded east into Harper's Ferry and found a red rocket and a small super-duper mart, collectively called Big B's Rest Stop. Lorna found that it came complete with a Wendigo, which was nearly too strong for her. Luckily, a newfound friend named something like Mini Drag showed up and they killed it together. Since her stash box was right there, she gave Mini Drag a level 35 handmade rifle with night vision in return for their help. Turning back north, she found the Harper's Ferry Armory, which was locked against all but Free States members. She'd have to find another way. While she thought about it, she decided to investigate Harper's Ferry itself. After some wandering around, she felt the master holotape in her pocket and realized that it might be the key to the armory terminal. She felt like a fool, went back and inserted the holotape. Voila! She then got an earful from Ella, who warned her about the many turrets guarding the armory. Friggin' bullet sponges. At least they yielded some ammo and useful parts. The armory was big and empty of other defenses. She found Raleigh's terminal along with lots of good supplies, including ammo and a fusion core. The master holotape downloaded to the sensors, and Abby's recording sent her to Senator Sam Blackwell's office in the Charleston Capitol building for some additional passwords to advance her quest. Back to the Capitol in Sam Blackwell's office. His terminal is locked down. She tried turning it off and on. That didn't work. Lorna headed to IT for help, just as she would have done in the vault. She finally found the security terminal in the basement. Unlocked, of course. Why would security have any clue? After unlocking Sam Blackwell's account, she reset the password on a couple of others because why not? She'd be happy to find one of the owners alive, but admitted it was quite unlikely. Back to Sam Blackwell's terminal, and the master tape revealed top secret security access codes that might be useful later. It also triggered a message from Abby. Congratulations for being halfway through the task. Freaking halfway.
Oh
At
my
least the
God.
trip had yielded another fusion core for her power armor, such as it was. A quick stop by her camp and back to Relay Tower ELB-102 to load the master holotape and upload to the detectors. Then back to Abby's bunker to reboot the scorched detection system. Apparently Abby's comment about being halfway was her idea of humor. The recording that emitted from the speakers was much appreciative of Loner's efforts, saying, "This means that we've made a difference." Loner was finding that there was some merit in doing seemingly meaningless tasks for those who came before and had the vision to pass their knowledge on to the future. Like Vaultek always said, looking forward to the future. Loner has seen many changes in Appalachia and in herself. It is my pleasure to tell you her story. I'll see you in the wasteland.
See you, Lee. Thank you for your lovely feedback. Quest from last time. Thanks for sending in the feedback there. He mentioned something that I forgot to go back and look into that I wanted to find out more about. Is there anything really that comes out of looking into this rad shield stuff? Is this something that you can add on to your character? What is this stuff?
I haven't seen any more on it.
No, me neither.
You know anything about rad shield? No.
I've had a problem. Is that the side quest of Ella Ames's, or because that's glitched in my game? I can't complete that.
I'm not exactly sure if it's Ella or Raleigh or someone over there, right?
I'm going to submit a ticket on that. I think Ella Ames's side quest is for something. You're supposed to go find her research, and I pick it off her body and it doesn't checkpoint. It doesn't advance the quest.
I know I mentioned it in previous episodes, but Scorch Beast lure. I want that to be like Dragon Rend from Skyrim, where you can make the Scorch Beast land automatically.
Be nice.
And then, of course, a couple episodes ago, I threw in the added twist. You can do this if you wish at home. Those of you playing the game at home. The Ghostbuster style ghost trap thing that they would toss under the ghost when they would try to trap a ghost. That's what I think would be fun, to have a Scorch Beast trap that you like toss something underneath it that would like somehow negate its echolocation and confuse it and make it have to land or something. That'd be fun. Point is, guys, right? What is the whole point of all of this? They need to be on the ground. I can't attack them with my unarmed stuff from the ground. I'm hopping and swinging like, hey, get down here. Come on. Swoop down.
Even with ranged weapons, you don't do much damage until they're down on the ground.
I don't care how much damage I do. I just want to be able to hit it at least once so I can get the XP if it goes down. You know what I mean? If you run around with Alex, you got to hurry up and get a hit in, because if he hits things just a couple times, they're gone. You don't have a lot of opportunities to get a swing in. Things go down too quickly. Thank you, Lee, for the feedback. We also had Jay sent us in some feedback, but I had trouble opening up your file. But it was an M4A, which I can usually open up just fine in Audacity, and then I mix it down to MP3 so that it can be played in Google Drive. Google Drive doesn't like to play the M4A files for some reason, but they're lovely. I always just open things up, pump up the volume just a little bit to make sure everything sounds nice and level and sort of similar level to all the other files that'll be playing that evening. And then mix down to an MP3 so that it can play in Google Drive. But for some reason, my Audacity wouldn't open up your file, Jay. So I don't know if there's something you could transfer the file to, or maybe send me the file again or something. Well, we'd love to play it on the show if we can figure that out. So another little bit of audio we got to play tonight is everybody's favorite new segment, fresh from Alex. We have the Iguana update.
Inside the Iguana Bits update. Greetings, Fallout Feed. Alex here with an all-new inside the interior of the exterior of the Scorched Iguana Bits update. I hope you liked my jingle. Frater wanted some music, so I threw that together for him. Everyone put on your beer hats and point your flaming chainsaws at the sky, because it's time to review this week's Inside the Vault. Bethesda kicks it off with new seasonal event Fastnacht Parade. Fastnacht is a Swiss, German, and Austrian celebration revolving around Ash Wednesday, Lent, and all that good jazz. If you want to know more about Fastnacht, Google.com is a handy tool. In Fallout 76, we will be donning fantastic masks and parading through the town of Helvetia. The festivities culminated by burning an effigy of Old Man Winter on the bonfire to signal the end of winter. The parade is a limited-time event quest that will be available for 1 week, starting March 19th and ending March 26th. Sounds like the event will be delegated by robots. Heaven forbid any living beings show up in the new content. I do like the idea of a Swiss Protectron, though. I would do a Swiss accent for you right now, but I just don't know what that is. The event will consist of prepping for the parade, participating in and protecting the parade, and concluding with the burning of Old Man Winter. When the event completes, you'll have a chance to earn one of the very cool new masks as a reward, some of which are, quote-unquote, exceedingly rare. So get ready to grind this event if you're the type of player that needs to collect every mask. Next, Patch 7 highlights. Patch 7 will introduce Wild Appalachia Brewing and Distilling, glug glug, on Tuesday, March 12th. It will also bring some balance and design changes and a ton of bug fixes. Full patch notes will be available that day. For now, a few highlights are as listed. Energy weapon balance. Condition damage per shot for heavy and semi-auto energy weapons has been greatly reduced. Heavy energy weapons should last 4 to 5 times longer, which is just insane for Gatling laser and Gatling plasma. Semi-auto energy weapons should last twice as long, so you can get a lot more out of your Gauss rifles, laser rifles, plasma rifles. Semi-auto energy weapons are being given a 10% damage buff all around. I personally think they could use a 25% buff, especially to make the laser and plasma rifles more viable. They are pretty weak as they are now. Hopefully the 10% will be noticeable because I'd like to try out more semi-auto energy weapons. Next, heavy weapons. High rate of fire heavy weapons are getting a reduction in fire rate and a 10% buff in damage. I think the high rate of fire heavy weapons include light machine gun, 50 cal machine gun, and minigun. Hope I'm not missing any, probably am. Sounds like a good functional change. Might make some of those weapons easier to control. I know I always thought the LMG fires way too fast. Weapon damage for all other automatic heavy weapons will be increased by 10 to 20%. That's pretty vague. Hopefully they'll be more specific in the full patch notes. Like the heavy energy weapons, ballistic heavy weapons will also have new durability, making them last about 4 times longer, which is great news for me and my Gatling gun. They acknowledge that the community has asked for weight changes to heavy weapons, but that will not be addressed in this patch. Next, camp and workshop adjustments. In patch 7, they're planning to make adjustments to camp and workshop that quote-unquote should allow you to build even bigger and fancier wasteland abodes. The amount of budget space that some buildable objects consume, such as turrets and lights, has been reduced, but they now also have a maximum amount that can be placed in your camper workshop. I hope the cap on turrets is like 4, because I'm tired of all these camps that have like 40 turrets. What are you doing with your life? They also added some camp placement adjustments. Occasionally, when we bring new content to the game, it may need to be placed somewhere that was previously usable as a camp location. We can't have camps and quests occupying the same space, and while we do our best to limit these cases, sometimes it's unavoidable. So starting in patch 7 and in future updates, we plan to add a few new no-build zones. I know a lot of people are rooting for right behind the White Spring Golf Club because people set up these annoying turret camps there, and it ruins the whole farming system of the ghouls. Ah! If you do have your camp built in one of these no-build zones, you'll be able to replace your camp somewhere else for free. So that's nice. They are also adding challenge tracking with patch 7. You'll be able to more easily track your daily, weekly, and all other challenges for earning atoms. Now, I love doing daily and weekly challenges. It's one of my main sources of fun since I've finished all the quests. So that'll be nice. You'll get little notifications when you make a little progress toward your challenge. So I'm looking forward to that. And that concludes this week's Inside the Vault. They sign off by promising more news next week for the next Inside the Vault. So until then, I have been Alex, and this has been
Inside the
Iguanabits Update. And I'll see you in the Glass Cavern.
The Glass Cavern. All right. Hey, Alex, thanks for throwing that together, man. I love the new little theme song there.
Very spiffy.
Good spiffy jingle, man. So we have lots of new stuff coming our way. They managed to tell us a whole lot of stuff, really, without telling us anything at all, like usual, right?
They're getting really good at that.
Okay? So tell me about Fashnak. Do you know anything about this?
No, just basically I skimmed through it and saw the same thing that he did. It's just a festival.
Yeah.
You know, in Bavaria.
Yeah, around the Easter holiday, a lot of people like to do this fasting stuff, and it seems like a lot of different cultures across many different religions have this thing where they fast around this time of year, and everyone likes to have a big party before they go into fast mode. Right? Doesn't that seem like the thing?
Yeah. Which makes it significantly more difficult to fast, but that's beside the point.
Now, I don't know if it's conjunction with, but I have already found a new mask. I found a Fasnacht. Or how are we pronouncing it? Fasch or Fasnacht?
I don't know. We should ask somebody that speaks German.
Yeah.
Well, I was a German major. If it's just Fasnacht, but it's Swiss German, so I didn't actually speak any Swiss German, and they do throw a lot of weird guttural sounds in the Swiss German, and it's almost, it's a different dialect, but it's almost like it's a whole different language. It's crazy how different it is from we were taught High German in school. So Fasnacht is how I pronounce it, but again, I'm not I don't speak Swiss German at all. It could be pronounced that way. But yeah, so I've already found that weird mask with a huge nose, the Fasnacht mask.
I think I have the same one. Yeah, I found it a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, I found mine like 10 days ago ish, maybe. So I don't know if they started like producing them more because it was approaching, if they knew what would happen. I was very upset Christmas season that they didn't release the Christmas package like December 1st so we could enjoy it the whole Christmas season long. But like 2 days before Christmas, they finally released the Santa package. I was really pissed that they waited that long. I don't know why they should release stuff, a couple weeks beforehand, those big holidays, at least to give us a chance to, celebrate the season, as it were. And
you just got rid of the outfit last week.
Yeah, I was wearing it for months. Since I had to I had to invest $5 real to max out my atoms to get up to do it. So I was like, man, I had to spend real money on that. I'm not going to ever fucking take it off. I'm going to wear it forever till I die. Well, little did I know I die over and over and over and over again. So, but no, I just found that swimsuit finally, and I was just like, this is too good. I have to put my fat character in the swimsuit and run it around the wasteland. Ooh, I'll put Santa's beard back on because I hadn't worn Santa's beard in a long time. So I put Santa's beard back on. So I traded out the dress, but I still have something for the package. I still have Santa's beard, which is nice. Yep. And then if you put on the fashionable glasses and that Civil War era top hat, you look like I don't know, Willy Wonka, even a way crazier Willy Wonka somehow, something. It's fun.
So question, with the bathing suit, does it come with flip-flops?
I wish, Ray, I'm glad you pointed that out. I've been looking at my character's feet you don't get a lot of opportunity to look at your character's feet. But since in Skyrim they separate it out, you get to put on your gloves, your hat, your boots, your armor, your leg, all this stuff. But in Fallout, it's just like you have
Tell me it's not sandals with black socks.
Oh God! It is Swiss German, Ray. What? Yeah, black socks. Yeah, totally. No, it's but I do see the weird feet, and it's obvious they did not plan on lots of people running around in the bathing suit without shoes or something. They should have put. You're right. They should have put like water moccasins or aqua socks or something on so that you could instead of having the weird sort of Gumby-esque featureless feet that are there. It's kind of weird. You can tell they didn't plan on a lot of people wearing this bathing suit. The feet are kind of weird looking.
I wondered. Yeah. I couldn't see your feet in the video, so.
Well, Ray, you got a thing for fat guy feet?
Just curiosity.
I could send you a Snapchat.
No, really. No, I don't need any footsies.
All right. We've gone long, but who cares? Let's roll into some Fallout Terminal Velocity. Ray's retired. He doesn't need his beauty sleep anymore.
Absolutely not.
We continued our trip down the way up the river to AVR Medical Laboratories, where also they fired up some of the old terminals. So we sort of started picking through them and found some interesting entries. Let's check it out. We have the Vault-Tec University Faculty Terminal. Here's the inoculation project overview. Purpose: produce a vaccine against the mutagenic effort known as the Scorched Plague. Method: extract blood samples from 3 candidate creatures observed to be more resistant to scorched mutagenic effect. Use blood sample analysis to create synthetic antibodies. Candidate creatures: feral ghoul, mole rat, wolf. Addendum: project stalled until replacement Type T fuse can be acquired. Request filed with Responder's Quartermaster to obtain replacement. Next entry. Project Journal. Inoculation Project Journal. Dr. Claire Hudson, November 7th, 2096. We're too late. I failed. I was on the radio with Maria just now. She's never seen so many scorch beasts. She says the sky above the airport's dark with them. They're not attacking, not yet. Waiting on their scorched foot soldiers to arrive, maybe. Clever bastards. And of course, we're scraping the bottom of the barrel on ammo and stems, so this couldn't come at a worse time. So what the hell do I do now? Down here alone, I might eventually be able to finish this vaccine. I can't help the fire breathers anymore. But maybe someday the vaccine will save lives, assuming anyone's left. If I can make it back to the airport, I can save lives today, or maybe tomorrow, or whenever the battle comes. And it will. Shit, I can't stay here. It might be suicide trying to make the trip on my own, but I can't turn my back on everyone I care about. Not when they need me the most. Not when I'm the one who failed to play her part in our plan to stop the Scorched before it came to this. Next entry, October 20th, 2096. Matic to play a message to anyone that's able to administer the inoculations once it's done. That way, if the worst happens, I can at least leave some kind of signpost to help others benefit from what I've learned. To help them survive if maybe I don't. Next entry, September 2nd, 2096. Thank God for the automation. I'm one woman doing the work of a small research team. If not for the computers and machinery here, this project wouldn't have a chance. Speaking of the project, the creatures that show the most resilience to the Scorched Plague are the mole rats, the feral ghouls, and the wolves. If I can get a blood sample from each one, it'll be a simple matter to load them into the centrifuge, run the analysis program. With the resulting data, synthesizing antibodies should be a pretty straightforward process. Add the synthetic antibodies to the suspension fluid, and presto, instant scorched vaccine. Then it's just a matter of waiting on that phone call about my Nobel Prize for medicine. That's the good news. The bad news is this old symptomatic machine. I powered it on, and the damn thing blew a fuse right away. Jeff thinks there might be some Type T fuses at the old mining supply store. Hopefully he can send some to check soon. To hear Maria tell it, those boys in the fire breathers unit are itching to take the fight to the Scorched, and they're counting on my inoculation to eventually the Scorch moved on. And by eventually, I mean 9 hours later. I never want to set foot in a storage closet again. Next entry, August 1st, 2096. Making good progress overall, at least with the preparation. I got my analysis program finished, and then no small amount of yelling, cursing, and kicking things. I finally got to the terminal and the symptomatic talking to each other. Well, that's a mischaracterization. It would be more correct to say that I got the terminal to scream orders at the symptomatic, and I got the symptomatic to obey them. Now I get to pour over hundreds of first-hand accounts, personal observations, and any other information we've gathered relating to how the scorch plague has been affecting the local wildlife. If I'm lucky, a tenth of it might be useful. So now we come to it, the crux of my theory. If I can identify the creatures that seem least affected by the scorch plague, then maybe, just maybe, I can figure out why. Then, with luck, synthetic antibodies might not be far behind. Next entry, July 6th, 2096. Okay, here we go. One brave doctor taking on the mysteries of the scorched. How heroic. Truth is, I'm alone. I'm more than a little terrified, and I'm skeptical of this whole crazy idea will even work. I think the fundamentals are sound enough. But once I start analyzing the scorched DNA, who knows what I'll find, or whether I'll even understand it. But I have to try. If I don't, all the people I care about are as good as dead. And if the scorched start to spread, I don't even want to think about it. At least I can be grateful we found this lab. It does everything I need, provided I can get all the equipment working. Hey, I got this terminal reprogrammed, and that's a pretty good start. Speaking of which, I'd better start writing that analysis program. No time to... Damn. What's that scratching noise again? Thought we cleared this place out, but I swear there's something moving around in the upper levels. Guess I better work fast. Initiating startup cycle. Motor activated. Please do not open the device. Cycling. Separation achieved. Commencing analysis. Analyzing. Analyzing complete. Data forwarded to symptomatic unit. Symptomatic configuration complete. Ready for inoculation. If you are interested in participating in Fallout Terminal Velocity, you'd like to read a terminal, play a holotape, just report some history, some lore back to Radioactive Rebecca, please contact her at Fallout Terminal Velocity at outlook.com. And we have a spreadsheet up in our Facebook group of all the locations that have already been done and ones that need yet to be done. So if you have any favorite spots you'd like to participate in, please contact Radioactive Rebecca and we'll get that all squared away. I realized that they have stopped posting in Patreon because I got bogged down with the album recording last month. But hopefully I'll find some time to get another huge batch of Fallout Terminal Velocities mixed, and we'll get those posting back again, maybe one or two a week over there on the Patreon feed. Now we're back to playing one episode a week, hopefully here on the regular show. So if you're interested, please contact Rebecca, and we'll get you squared away there with a location. And thank you so much for participating. We'd like to everyone who's sending in the audio feedback for the quest. We would love if you guys would hop on and send us a couple of terminals or place a holotape or whatnot. We'd love to hear from everybody. So Fallout Terminal Velocity. Thanks for your participation, everybody. Just another. We just thought it was another cool way to involve community. This is basically a community-based show, a community-based project here. So if you'd like to hop on, we'd love to have you aboard. Ray, is there anything else that we need to get into show-wise? What are you doing over on the Skyrim Roundtable and all that these days?
So March 24th, we'll have the second installment of we're in the Falkreath area right now, building up the Lakeview Manor, and so the quests are centered more around the Riften area for this episode, but that'll be on March 24th.
Nice.
And that's that list is posted in the on the ASA podcasting webpage.
Very nice. So everyone, you're doing play-alongs with the Skyrim Roundtable. Get your feedback in probably the week or two after that. And we're all looking forward to hearing everybody's stories. How about Skyrim 10 AD? We had a recording session just the other day, did we not?
We did last Sunday.
Good times as always. Look for those in your Skyrim Addict feed. Always a good time playing Dungeons and Dragons in the Skyrim world. I think is pretty much what we're doing.
Yep.
So check those shows out. And Ray and I are participants in the Skyrim 10 AD show. Ray is on the Skyrim Roundtable show, and I am trying to do my best to send in feedback for the Skyrim Roundtable this season. I'm playing the Switch, so I don't have any mods or anything like that. But I do get to play when I'm at work every day on my lunch break, which is a nice way to break up the day a little bit. I like playing my Skyrim character. It's always fun to do that. All right. Ray, thank you so much for joining me this evening.
Absolutely. Always a pleasure.
Yep. Eddie, so nice. Wonderful job. Was this your first time on a podcast?
Yeah, it is. It was a good time, too.
Amazing job, sir. You nailed it out of the park, and hopefully we'll have you back on the show sometime soon.
Anytime.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everyone for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable, and we will see you in the wasteland.
Thank you for downloading this episode of the Fallout Feed Roundtable. If you are interested in doing a play-along character with us, the show can be contacted by emailing falloutroundtable@gmail.com. For the Roundtable schedule, our Amazon link, and all other show information, please head on over to asapodcasting.com, where you will find the Fallout Feed, a Skyrim Addict podcast, our YouTube channel, the Chatterbox, as well as other content. Once again, thank you for downloading, and we'll see you in the wasteland.